We've got a good one in store down here at North Bloomfield Township and Northmoor High School, where the pass-happy South Central Trojans take on the run-friendly Northmoor Golden Knights. Who's going to be 2-0 when we get out of this one? We'll find out next.
County Hospital, along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrill County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrill County.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering to 10. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
We welcome you inside Northmoor Stadium here on the campus of Northmoor High School in North Bloomfield Township for today's Week 2 matchup between the 1-0 Northmoor Golden Knights and the 1-0 South Central Trojans. We take it down to the field for the national anthem.
Friday night, we remember Shelley and all the love and support she's given to this community. It is with the permission of the Lynn family that we ask you to join us in a moment of silence to honor her life. Thank you.
To honor America, please continue standing and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Star-Spangled Banner.
We welcome you back in to the press box here at Northmoor High School for week number 2. Travis Berardi alongside Lynn Passet. Lynn, you've been covering football for quite some time here in Ohio, up in the Toledo area. You're down in Arlington now, just south of Findlay. Welcome to the crew.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, and the big thing is we've got both teams coming in at 1-0. And this is the week where coaches usually say they see the most improvement in their football teams between weeks 1 and 2. So this is a key and pivotal game for both of these teams.
Yeah, and I actually had a chance to talk with one of the coaches. That's Northmoor head coach Scott Armros earlier this week about the victory they had and what they have to offer coming up against South Central. So we'll take you to that right now.
They've thrown it up and down the field against everybody they've played so far in 2 scrimmages and against Willard. So it's nothing about who they're playing. They're really good at it. They have good speed at receiver. They have 3 guys that can go up and catch the ball, and they got a quarterback that can really sling it.
And what do you guys have to do to kind of slow that down and stop it?
Well, it starts with pressure up front. We think our defensive line's pretty strong, and they have to pressure that quarterback and make him throw under fire.
So Lynn, pretty much simple for Northmoor here. Just get pressure on the quarterback because he did a pretty darn good job against Willard, going for 287 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then he ran one in on his own as well.
Yeah, 8 out of 13 for 245 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's the kind of night that you would love to have as your opening night. And a lot of that actually came in the second half because South Central really got off to kind of a sluggish start. They had 28 points in the first half last week against Willard, but only 1 first down. Hard to believe, but they had a blocked punt, they had a fake punt that worked, and a couple of big plays, and boom, you're with 28 points in the first half. So this defense of Northmoor is definitely going to be tested tonight.
And that will do it for the J&F Construction pregame show. South Central, they're going to get the ball first.
Well, once
but
we
they
get
don't know which side.
Yeah, once we get them lined up correctly, everybody was in the wrong position, so we'll now set everything back up at the opposite 40-yard line. This has been an evening of rain, but now it has actually cleared off. The skies have kind of broken. I believe the rain has completely stopped, at least for now. We're hoping that's the way things will continue. The rain is not a problem. It's that thunder and lightning that we had that delayed this ball game, and we're hoping not to see any more of that.
And it's a good thing it happened before the game, before even warm-ups. So nobody got warmed up and then cooled down, but we are underway. Caleb Chenier kicks it off, and that's going to be Hagan Adams taking it to 15 across the 20, 25, and run out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. And that's where South Central will start.
Good coverage. Yeah, good coverage by Gavin Miller that time. Stayed in his lane. Didn't allow the return man to get any blocks really set up. He penetrated the wall and made a nice tackle that time.
So they will start 1st and 10 behind their quarterback, Brandon Mitchell, 11 of 15, 287 last week. Leading rushers, Trey Beverly, 10 rushes, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Carson Music also 1 carry, 46 yards, and a touchdown.
Music was a big instrument, if you will, pardon the pun, last week as he had a 90-yard touchdown reception.
That handoff to Beverly stopped in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of a couple. That'll bring up 2nd down. A nice little stop there by Northmoor to get things going.
Good penetration by the defensive front as they are quick on their feet. And one guy to keep your eyes on is number 6, Max Lauer. He's playing that left defensive end position. Very quick and very strong. And he can get in there and make some real noise in the backfield.
2nd down and 12. It's going to be another handoff to Beverly. Off the right side, he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, so that's going to set up 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans. So they got another run off the right side, but once again, Lauer and company able to get the tackle.
Yeah, Nauer that time did a nice job getting in there and Naylor, that is, got in there and caused some havoc. They got the 2 back from their 2-yard loss on 1st down, so now it's 3rd and long, and this isn't where any coach wants to be, 3rd and 10.
So it's a pass, and it's going to be caught, but it's going to be short Hagan Adams made the catch, but both of his knees were down. So we take a look at the replay here. Rolled out, quick hitter, but swipe the knees against the ground at the 35. Give him 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up 4th down in a punting situation for South Central. So Northmoor, good start against this pass-happy offense.
Nice rollout that time by Brandon Mitchell. Found his man, but unfortunately he went to his knees to make the reception, and he was down right there.
That kick's going to be taken by Trenton Ramos. Fair catch at the 37-yard line, and that's where the Golden Knights will start.
28-yard punt. And I'm kind of excited to see this Northmoor offense because Marcus Cortez, the senior quarterback, rushed for 74 yards last week, threw for 27, and then you've got Lower who ran for 128 yards a week ago.
Yeah, Max Lauer, he's been a workhorse. He's only a junior as well, or a junior. Yes, he's a junior. That COVID year kind of got me screwed up because his freshman year he ran up and down the field, but sophomore year as well, and he's going to take the handoff this time, but he's going to be swarmed in the backfield by a host of Trojans. Connor Mills, Gavin Sexton in there, and one other as well for the stop. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 12. So both lines right now really showing off.
Yeah, both teams try a run on 1st down. Both teams lost 2 yards on their opening carry, so a lot of similarity.
2nd down and 12 from the 35, 9:42 on a running first quarter clock. Cortez takes it left side, gets through the original line of scrimmage and maybe gets a couple more, but it's still going to be 3rd down and long.
He got 5, but unfortunately 2 of that 5 was just being made up from the original 2-yard loss, so it's now going to be a 3rd and just about 8.
3rd and a long 8 for Northmoor. 3 wide to the left. Max Lauer, sidecar left to Cortez, and he's going to pass it. Looking quick hitter, and he completes it to Ramos, but he's going to be stopped immediately. Give him maybe a yard or 2, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and Northmoor unable to move the ball on their first possession.
Swarming defense that time, and they approached the football quickly. Trey Beverly got out there, number 7, and made the initial hit, and then a host of others from the Trojans got over there and helped make the stop as well.
So both running backs getting in on both sides of the ball early on.
They are, and this is going to look like a defensive battle based on the first opening possessions by each team.
Gavin Miller kicks it away. That's going to be taken at the 25 by Carson Music. Across the 30, 35, 40. Has a bit of an opening across midfield, and he's going to be pushed ahead down towards the 40, and a big return there.
We have a flag, though. Oh, and I believe it's going to be against South Central. I think we're going to have an illegal use of the hands out near the 46-yard line.
And that's tough because that's probably going to take away at least 20, 25 yards from a great return. And that's going to back them up close to the 30. So while we have the time after this call, we'll bring up, it's actually a sideline warning.
Yep, sideline warning against South Central.
So the play will stand, and South Central will start on the Northmoor 40-yard line as we bring up the offensive starters real quick for South Central, led by Brandon Mitchell, Beverly in the backfield, Haller, Music, Gray, Adams, wideouts.
So just like a week ago, special teams is really playing an important key for South Central as they had a blocked punt and a fake punt that they utilized to set up touchdowns a week ago.
And we have a false start against South Central as we bring back up the offensive starters. Lyman, Sexton, Louderman, Kiesel, Mills, and Murray. As for the Northmoor defense, on the line, Naylor, Whited, Armros, linebackers, Cristo, Corwin, defensive backs, Cortez, Ramos, Stoney, Kearns, Falk, and Lauer in there as well. Mitchell, back to pass, throws down the seam, it's tipped. Nice play by Garrett Corwin. That could have been a huge play for South Central, but just able to get a hand on it and deflect it away.
Did a nice job of dropping back, reading the quarterback's eyes, and then timing his jump perfectly to just tip that ball away. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that would have been a received pass because he was wide open in that center seam.
Our starters brought to you by J&F Construction. Design yours at jfconstruction.com today. So second down. It's a quick hitter, but it drops incomplete.
Got those alligator arms that time as the intended receiver, Hagan Adams, just kind of, I think, peeked a little bit to see where the defender was, how much time he had, how much room he had. Can't take your eyes off the football, and he'll remember that the next time it's thrown to him and concentrate a little bit closer.
So that's going to bring up third down and 15 from the Northmoor 45. Mitchell rolling right, looking to pass. He's going to let it go, but short, incomplete. So after the nice return, South Central unable to do anything with it.
Intended that pass for Carson Music, who was his big receiver a week ago against Willard. Music had a 90-yard touchdown reception. He's a senior, so he knows where to find those spaces in that zone defense.
And South Central, they had a knack for big plays. Hagan Adams, 2 catches, 90 yards, an average of 45. Carson Music, 2 catches, 99 yards, an average of 49.5. And then you had Haller with 4 catches for 54. That kick deep, caught by Ramos just at the 10 across the 15, run out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So Northmoor, they're going to be backed up, but they got a first down.
Well, a week ago it was Northmoor's defense that really held on for the victory against Seneca East, 27-23. And Garrett Corwin, a senior, had 2 interceptions as a linebacker. C.J. Stoney, a junior, had an interception as well. And defense is going to have to be the key for this team tonight, because right now South Central is really playing some solid defense of their own, and field position just kind of got flipped.
Yeah, and that might be the name of the game tonight. You had two teams that put up more than 27 points in week 1, and it's a battle here in the first 4 minutes. 8:04 on a stop clock. Cortez, he's going to keep it up the middle and get some yardage out of it. He's going to go across the 25, maybe to the 26. So finally a positive gain there for the Golden Knights.
2 carries, 10 yards for Marcus Cortez. Did a nice job of following his lead blockers, and then when he saw a little bit of a opening to his left, he made the cut back and got 6 yards, and that sets him up now at 2nd and 4 in real good shape.
And that's what you want to do, both these teams. You want to get those chunks 3-4 yards at a time. You do that, you're going to get a first down. Little handoff to Lauer, has some room across the left side. He's still up across the 30, and Northmoor is going to have the first down of the game. A nice run there by Max Lauer across the left side, avoids 1 tackler, and then carries 4-5 guys over the 30-yard line for the first down.
I'll tell you what, he showed his strength right there as he had 3 guys on his back and just kept churning forward and got across the 30.
7:21 on a running first quarter clock. We apologize about the clock issues on our scoreboard, but I'll keep you guys updated. Another hand up to Lauer, but this time he's stuck in the backfield by Derek Murray. So a couple positive plays for Northmoor, and then South Central right back at you with a loss.
Connor Mills also in there along with Murray, and I think they're kind of guessing that Northmoor is going to rely on Lauer, so they're going to kind of guess and stunt themselves to stop the run on first down. I think it's going to be one of those situations where Cortez is going to have to open up the pass and try and make some room for the run.
Or just keep it himself like he just did here. He's spinning across the 35 to the 36. Ball's on the ground, and South Central recovers. So Cortez fighting for that extra yard or two, gets it stripped, and South Central set right back up as you watch the Hot Shot secret replay as he's coming to the ground. He landed on a South Central player, so he was not down yet, loses the handle, and 2 Trojans fall on it, where they will begin 1st and 10, right back to where they were before they punted, now at the Northmoor 37.
Sometimes as a running back or a quarterback, the ball carrier period, when you've kind of reached the end and your forward progress is kind of stopped, you need to just stop fighting and protect the football, and unfortunately that's where Marcus Cortez got stripped.
Handoff to Adams, looking to pass, and he got lit up.
He got the forearm shiver that time from Trenton Ramos.
My goodness. Got to take a look at that one more time.
Actually, it was Gavin Miller, not Ramos. It was number 12, not 2. So Miller came up and just popped him.
I'm surprised he didn't get flagged, though, because he kind of flexed over top of him. In the NFL, that would get called. But right now, I guess the referees.
The coaching staff is saying the same exact thing. Hey, wasn't he taunting him? And it was very close to being a taunt. Big loss, though, of 9.
Big hit, too. Gavin Miller. His brother is a linebacker for the Ashland University football team, was a great linebacker and tight end for Northmoor here a few years ago, Blake Miller. Also a good basketball player, but going after his brother. So we have time right now. Let's pull up the Northmoor offense and South Central defense, brought to you by J&F Construction. And like we said, Northmoor led by Marcus Cortez last week, using his legs more than his arm. Max Lauer over 120 yards rushing, I believe 128, and 4 touchdowns. Then you have the big tight end, Andrew Armros, number 80. He has the ability to come out of the backfield and make some big catches for you. And then Ramos, Workman, Miller, who just had that huge hit. Wide receivers, your offensive line, Jordan Welch, Ben Planey, Bodie Workman, Dustin Sanders, the big guard, and Gavin Whited.
Yeah, so far we have not seen Marcus Cortez attempt to pass. So until he really does start showing the threat of being able to throw the football, I believe South Central is going to stack the line of scrimmage, and they're going to play run all night long.
And why wouldn't they?
Exactly.
That defense, Connor Mills, Gavin Sexton, Derek Murray on the line. Linebackers, Beverly, Kiesel, Smith, Louderman. Corners, Haller, Blair. Safeties, Adams and Gray. 2nd and 19 now for the Trojans. Quick hitter. That's going to be caught this time by Adams, and he's going to get most of those yards back.
Yep,
Bring up third down.
He got 8, so that sets him up a little bit better now as far as being third down and cutting that distance down to a more manageable 11.
And this, I mean, is this close enough to be 4-down territory for them? You're at the 37 now. Maybe you do get 5-6 yards on this next play, brings up even a 4th and short where maybe you do take that play.
This is probably a situation where you might throw a screen or maybe even a draw play, quarterback draw.
Mitchell too wide to the left, too wide to the right. He's going to pass this time. He's going to go deep, and his wide receiver just stopped, and it's intercepted by Marcus Cortez. Northmoor escapes the turnover and gets one themselves after the miscommunication there. Adams just pulled up on his route.
I'm not sure if he actually saw the football. I think he may have turned and didn't realize that the ball was in the air even, and just kind of didn't realize it was even being thrown to him.
So Cortez makes up for the fumble with the interception, and the Golden Knights take over 1st and 10, but they are backed up on their own 6. 5:16 left here, first quarter.
Yeah, you don't think about it, but the better play would have been to just bat that ball down, and then you're going to force them to punt the football, and odds are they're not going to kick it inside the 5, but you take it because that's your natural instinct, and we have flags.
And it's going to be a false start against Northmoor. Half the distance, and now it's going to be 1st and 13 from their 3.
First penalty of the night against Northmoor. Each team now has been flagged once for 5 yards, and this will move the football back inside the 5 to about the 3.
So this could be a big possession as well, as if the defenses are going to keep up. A safety right now, it might be the difference in a game.
Both teams are definitely flexing their defensive muscles, and I think, like it or not, Northmoor is going to have to start looking at throwing the football.
Handoff this time. That's the Nico Cristo. And he's going to get a little bit of those yardages back. It's going to give him a little bit more room to work. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Give him 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. So we go under 5 left here in the first.
Yeah, nice run that time by Nico Cristo. He just simply took the handoff and looked for any kind of a gap that he could. You just want to get whatever you can when you're backed up inside your own 5. And just, even if it's 2 or 3 yards, be happy with it. Move the ball as much as you can.
Lauer this time weaving in and out of traffic. It's across the 10, maybe to the 12-yard line. We'll see where they mark him down, but I think he got 5 or 6 yards there.
Yep, looks like he got 6 just across the 12.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and a long 3 from the 13.
3 carries, 9 yards so far tonight for Max Lauer. And now a big 3rd and 4.
Handoff, Lauer again. Pushes across. He's going to get close to this line. The game will see. Referee stopping the clock immediately, so it's going to be close. And they got it. So Lauer needed 4, got 4.
Yep.
In this 0-0 game on the Morrow County Hospital scoreboard. So we come up on 4 minutes left here, opening quarter.
Second first down of this opening quarter for Northmoor. Now movement on the front line. Looks like it's number 77, Connor Mills, who jumped for South Central. So that'll be a 5-yard step off.
So it'll be 1st down and 5 now for the Golden Knights. And now your playbook really opens up on offense. You're now across the 15. You're at the 20-yard line. You can now get a little bit more comfortable if you're Marcus Cortez.
And it's still 1st down. And they're pulling the guard and setting up a screen.
That's an arm roast across the 30, 35, up to the 37. Huge play there. 16-yard gain, and that's a Northmoor 1st down.
Well, we knew the passing game was going to have to start happening, and Cortez finally got his opening, and it came on a 1st and 5, where it was kind of a throwaway down.
And big Andrew Armrose. When you have a big tight end like that, you have to love it, especially not only for the run game but for the pass game, as Lauer slips up there but still able to get about 2-3 yards on the game to bring up 2nd down and long. But having a big guy like Andrew Armrose out there, he's also a center for the basketball team, just somebody that can push people around, and then you can slip out for a pass and gain some yardage as well.
Big tight end in high school football is a valuable asset.
2nd and 8 from the Northmoor 37. So we come up on 3 minutes left here in the 1st quarter. Handoff Christo across the 35 to the 40, and we have a flag down after. I don't know who that's going to go on. It's going to be a hold. I do see it's going to hold now. I didn't know if it might have been a face mask, but they're going to get a hold, and that's going to bring it back 10.
Just as you start to get some momentum, a couple of 1st downs, you came out of this possession at your own 3-yard line. You've managed to move it out. You're starting to get some momentum. You're starting to feel good offensively, and then boom, this hits.
You see that a lot in high school football, to where the good teams are able to get out of it. They're able to get that yardage back and get the 1st down, but then other teams, it kills them. It kills momentum. Maybe you don't get the drive finished, the other team takes over and scores, and it's just that one penalty completely changes the complexion of things. Cortez off to his right throwing, and once again finds Armrose, and he's going to carry about 7 guys. His helmet is off, so they're going to stop the clock there, and he gets taken down as well. Max Lauer is angry because they continued the play after Armrose's helmet was ripped off, but he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit more, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. But
Cortez,
wow.
2 out of 2 for 24 yards. Both strikes have come to the tight end Armrose, so you can tell that he feels comfortable seeking him immediately. And now they have got that more manageable 3rd down and about 7.
So 3rd down. Ball is lost. Cortez gets up, avoids one tackler. He's going to take off, but he's going to get right to the line of scrimmage, and another flag up.
They are flying right now. The flags came in from all the way in the back, Judge.
That's going to be another hold on Northmoor, so it's going to bring him back further. Let's take a look at that.
You may want to decline this. You got to stop.
Or illegal block in the back, but here's the play of that Armrose catch one more time. It was a nice play call. He caught it, and then just watch him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I believe that was Haller just pushed his helmet off. Referee stopped the play. He gets taken down, and that's where Lauer gets a little angry. Why wasn't there a flag? You know, a little jawing, but referee's able to break that up, and we move on.
3 penalties for 25 yards, and all 3 of them have come on this drive against Northmoor. They're really shooting themselves in the foot right now.
Cortez, quick hitter. That's going to be caught, but immediately hit.
Short gain of only about 1 on that pass. Looks like Nico Christo might have been who caught
Ramos.
that.
Trenton
okay.
Ramos with the catch. So they gave him 2, but that's going to bring up 4th down. and 13. So 2 penalties really hurt the Golden Knights there, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Yep, they got a couple of first downs when they were backed up against their own end line and had some momentum going, and then 2 big penalties just really shot that drive in the foot.
Miller boots it away, and it's a good one. That's going to be taken by Music at the 30. Still on the 30, avoids 1 tackler across the 40, and then he's taken out of bounds at the 43. So a good punt by Miller, who actually almost comes in and makes the tackle. It's Caleb Chenier that pushes him out of bounds, but South Central, another good start for them on offense. Let's see if they can finally get the ball moving.
42 yards on the punt and 13 yards on the return. So South Central will have fairly decent field position now to start this drive at their own 43 with 1:16 to go in the opening quarter.
So not much to go offensively for South Central. Northmoor did have a couple plays, but penalties killed them. And like we said earlier, this may become a defensive battle for both teams. Mitchell takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Beverly, and he's going to be hit. Avoids 1 tackler, but gets right back to the line of scrimmage.
Nico Cristo dove in there and chopped him down at the knees. Didn't quite finish him off, but I was watching the line play there, and really this defensive line for Northmoor was quick off the ball, and they were quickly penetrating into the backfield. So once again, this may be a time for that play action pass for South Central because they're definitely playing run as well.
Gavin Whited finished that tackle off. 4 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and now they have some move. The wide receivers trying to figure out where they're going to stand here. They're all bunched off to the right side. As they await the call from the coach, they finally get it. Mitchell, quick hitter. That's complete to Adams once again. He's going to be taken out at midfield. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3.
Nice pitch and catch because Northmoor was playing about 8 yards off of the receiver, and they still are. So all you have to do is just step back and throw, and you've got a quick 5, 6, 7 yards.
Quickly back at it. Same formation. Mitchell faking the snap, looking over to the left side, the head coach.
I'll tell you what, you can run the same exact play again because down here at the bottom of the screen, they're 8 yards off the receiver.
That's Ramos that's off of him.
And
he
they
does
are.
Look that way. Quick slant, got him, 30, 20, and he's going to go to the house. Touchdown, South Central. 50 yards on the play.
Well, you saw him run the same exact play the play before, only this time he didn't do a go and stop. This time he ran a slant, and the defender thought it was the same exact play, so he went through thinking he was going to cut him off, and instead he just went right by him.
Yeah. Ramos was thinking he was going to straighten it out, bid on that, and the slant was right there. That's a great play call by the coaching staff from the Trojans, and South Central strikes first, as they will come on for the extra point. Adams to try. So with 19 seconds left here in the opening quarter, South Central strikes first. Extra point is up, and it is good. 7-0.
Brandon Mitchell now 4 out of 8, 71 yards and a touchdown, and that last play was really nicely conceived because Northmoor's giving them that big cushion. So they gave them the look of the same exact play before, and the defensive back bit on the same play, and the slant, he took it all the way.
And that's one of our keys of the game. Our keys tonight, Trojan passing game, the Golden Knight run game, and controlling the trenches well. That offensive line for South Central controlling it just enough to allow Mitchell to throw it to Adams, two of our 3 players to watch for South Central. On the other side for Northmoor, Max Lauer and Marcus Cortez. Lauer did get a start on that last possession, but penalties really hurt them. But your keys to the game brought to you by J&F Construction and Development.
We talked in the pregame about how a week ago South Central scored 28 points in the first half but had only 1 first down. That was their first down of the first quarter, and it goes for 50 yards.
So South Central, they like to get those in chunks, and they hit once again on a 3rd and 3 as well. So The Trojans starting the roll here after really not doing anything in that first quarter. Adams getting ready to kick it away. And they're going to kick it deep. Hunter Falk takes it at his goal line across the 10, 15, 20. Gets across the 25, and that's where the Golden Knights will start 1st and 10 with 11 seconds left in the opening quarter.
Nice kick that time, so South Central has a good leg, and he was able to boot that all the way down to about the 5-yard line. And when he's running backwards to make the catch, his momentum is stopping and before he can get going, so it really was hard for him to kind of get anything going.
And who kicked that? But the guy that caught the touchdown, ran 50 yards, kicked the extra point, had that adrenaline going there after that touchdown.
Absolutely.
Kicks it to the goal line, yeah.
So 11 seconds left here in the opening quarter for Northmoor, and so far they really have shot themselves in the foot.
Too wide to the right. Max Lauer bunched in on the left. It's being handoff. That goes to Corwin, and he gets a nice chunk of yardage as he gets up towards the first down. They're going to give him about 8.5, 9 yards, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. So after one, South Central striking first on another big play this season for them, the 50-yard strike. Your score after one, South Central 7, Northmoor 0. We'll be back live and free on the OH Report.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents totally unrealistic, never gonna happen in a million years mom fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I got charity tent. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Morrow County Hospital, along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrow County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County.
Back here at Northmoor High School, your score after one, South Central 7, Northmoor nothing. Hand off the Corwin again, and he has a hole, but there's a flag on the play. That's probably going to be coming back.
Yep, I believe we're going to have a hold on Northmoor at the 41-yard line.
And that was right at that hole where Corwin ran through. And once again, Northmoor hurt by the flag on 2nd and 2. It was ahead of the play, though, so they're probably going to be about 2nd and 5 or 6, but still, that hurts.
Yep, they got their first down, but now they're going to lose it. Had their touchdown, and they're going to lose it.
And that really hurts coming out of a timeout. They had the play picked up. They had the play that they wanted. They ran it, and the penalty that might haunt them coming back. But a lot of time left. Let's see if they can get back at it. It's still only 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, in reality, that only cost them 3 yards because it was past the line of scrimmage, past the first down marker, so it was really only a 3-yard penalty. But it was a big one because not only did it negate the first down, but it negates a touchdown as well.
So 2nd and 5 now. Corwin once again to the right. They're going to fake the handoff. Cortez rolling right, complete the arm roast, cross the 45, 50, breaks a tackle, 45, taken down at the 40, and there's the big play for Northmoor. That's going to be a first down into South Central territory.
29 yards on the pass for Cortez, who has hit 3 out of his 4 attempts. Actually, he's 4 for 4.
So you can see on the Hot Shot Secret replay, protective fuel and oil additives from your diesel experts. Get 10% off your first order at hotshotsecret.com.
4 out of 4 for 47 yards.
And that's what Northmoor needs to do to balance that offense out. Hand off to Corwin again, and he gets to the second to third level. Going to be taken down at the 31, and he's close to a first down. So Northmoor now into somewhat of a rhythm despite that penalty.
He's got 2 carries, 17 yards, and now all of a sudden Corwin seems to be the go-to guy while they're trying to fixate themselves on Lauer.
And South Central, seeing that Northmoor has some of that momentum, they're going to take their first timeout. Their second timeout here with 11:16 left in the half. Tonight's high school football broadcast is brought to you live and free on the OH.Report thanks to our generous sponsors, Morrow County Hospital. Don't wait to get sick. Put your health first. Visit morrowcountyhospital.com for your online appointment. Hot Shot Secret, protective fuel and oil additives from your diesel experts. Get 10% off your first order at hotshotsecret.com. J&F Construction, building your future today. Design yours at jfconstruction.com. And Frito-Lay, get social with Frito-Lay using the hashtag Frito-Lay for a chance to be featured on their website and social media accounts. And Lynn, I know you must love Frito-Lay chips. I'm a big Doritos fan myself.
I will occasionally indulge myself. You know what I love about high school football is the people that stand along the fence. It always amazes me. They will be 4 or 5 deep sometimes.
Corwin rolling left, throws it, has a man open. Ramos to the 5, breaks a tackle to the end zone. Touchdown, Northmoor, and they answer.
31-yard touchdown pass, and Cortez is now 5 out of 5 for 78 yards.
Take a look at the replay. Faked the handoff to Lauer, rolled to his left, and just found the wide open man. Ramos got behind the secondary, wide open, made a guy miss, gets into the end zone, and Northmoor now an extra point away from tying this up.
Well, when you're running the football as well as on this series, Northmoor was, the DBs start to kind of creep up. They suddenly want to get their nose in on the action, and they start sniffing, and next thing you know, you've got them on a play-action bootleg.
So South Central jumped offside, and it looks like head coach Scott Armros is going to run a couple players back on. Max Lauer now coming on. I think Northmoor is going to go for 2 here.
Why not? It's early. It's looking like this is going to be a low-scoring slugfest, so
and the ball's now on the 1 after the encroachment penalty. So a big break here for the Golden Knights with a chance now to take the lead on this 2-point conversion attempt.
Be interesting to see if he goes shotgun or under center, and he's under center, so now the quarterback sneak is a definite option, but you got 2 backs to go to as well.
And they give it to Lauer, and Lauer pushes his way through. 2-point conversion, good. Northmoor leads. With 11:05 left here in the first half, Northmoor takes the 8-7 lead, and Lynn, in the last minute and 10 seconds, we have 15 points.
Well, and we talked about how Northmoor shot themselves in the foot with penalties. What just happened here? We had a penalty on an extra point, and now it leads to an extra 2-point conversion for Northmoor. So penalties have really been plaguing both teams. Up till now, it was only Northmoor that was really shooting themselves in the foot, but now just a minor 1.5-yard walk-off actually ends up costing you 2 points.
But isn't football a game of inches?
Inches, and in this case, 1.5 yards.
Yeah, because that's the difference from Scott Armros saying we're just going to kick the extra point to tie it to now taking the lead. Northmoor, they did go for 2 a lot last year. They were successful maybe at a 30-40% clip. So this team knows how to get it in on a 2-point conversion, but that extra 1.5 yards just made things just a little bit more sweeter. Caleb Chenier didn't get a chance to kick the extra point, but he will kick it away here. And he gets it up left side, and that's going to be taken by Adams across the 30 and down at the 31.
Return. Yep, 15-yard return, and a good job that time by Northmoor of, again, staying in your lanes. It's very easy when you see someone starting to move toward the sidelines. You want to leave your lane, but you can't do that because so many times they can stop and start to reverse field, and then you're stuck. And I noticed at the end of that kickoff coverage, Northmoor did a good job. They still had guys staying in their lane on the near side of the field, making sure if anybody tries to cut it back, I'm still here.
10:59 left here in the half. Northmoor with the 8-7 lead. South Central, after hitting the big play 50-yard touchdown pass. Let's see what they have on this possession. 4 wide. It's going to be a screen pass to Music. He's going to get tripped up, but he will get positive yards here.
Well, I'll tell you what, those bubble screens can really be a lot of fun for an offensive unit because a lot of people don't like to block as wide receivers. But if you have guys that don't mind blocking and like to block, and you've got quickness like Music has, he just kind of hides behind them. He dances behind them until he sees his opening, and then he just makes a quick cut, and he got a quick 6 yards.
Make 2nd and 4 from the 37. Another quick hitter. Music caught it right at the sticks, and they're going to give him 5 yards and a South Central first down. So dink and dunk, open up that big strike just like they had the last play. So we'll see if South Central, a couple more quick hitters, or they try for the big play here.
Mitchell hit his first pass, had 3 straight incompletions, and now he has hit on 6 in a row. So he is 7 out of 11 on the night.
So we approach 10 minutes left in the half. Mitchell, another quick hitter, the Music. And he's going to be taken down. Nice open field tackle by Cristo, but that's another 5 yards. And, I mean, if you're going to give 5 yards a play, any coach would be glad to take that.
All you have to do is look at the defensive backs for Northmoor, and they are not creeping up and getting in the face and playing tight coverage. And as long as they are giving it, here at the bottom, C.J. Stoney is a good 10 yards off of his man. So if you're 10 yards off, you run 5 yards, you turn around, and it's a quick pitch and go.
And this opens up the out and up as well. And there's the fake, but this time Mitchell's being pressured, but still gets it off and completes it to Music. It looked like he was trying to fake to go left to Adams down the sideline. Didn't see him, gets pressured, still able to get it away to Music, and the big play there for another first down.
95 yards passing for Brandon Mitchell, and he's starting to fall in love with Carson Music, and why not? He's being given a lot of room, and they'll gladly take that room.
So it took a quarter, but both teams now really getting it going on the offensive end.
And Music is at the bottom of the screen. Don't be surprised if they don't go to him again.
And this time it's going to be a pitch out to Trey Beverly, and he's going to get a good amount of yards. On the quick option play there, give him about 7. That's going to bring up 2nd and short once again.
Picked up about 7, and anytime you can get 7 yards on first down, you have really made a problem for the defense.
And it's those quick hitters that really opened up that pitch play. Northmoor really focused on those quick hitters and allowed those outside linebackers and defensive backs to really not look at the run that time.
A week ago, it was the passing game for South Central. Tonight, it's still the passing game that is setting up the running game.
Mitchell takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to go right to Music again. Got it, caught at the 10, gets hit at the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds. So this time it's Music getting the plays.
26 yards on this pass.
Bumped into Stoney, got some separation there, and now it's 1st and goal. And Mitchell going to try and take it himself, and he's upended right at the 5, down to the 4, so give him 3. It's 2nd and goal. And this is where Northmoor succeeded against Seneca East late in the game. Seneca East had 3rd and goal from the 2. Their quarterback pretty much ran all over the field the entirety of the game, but Northmoor really hunkered down, got 2 big stops, and came out with the victory. And now I think an equipment problem on South Central. They reset. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Half of the second quarter is gone, so big possession here for South Central. You really have to cash in here.
Mitchell, quick hitter, right side. That's Haller. Haller, he's hit, dives for the end zone, and is in. Touchdown, South Central.
It doesn't look much in the stat book because it was only a 4-yard completion, but it goes for a touchdown. And I'll tell you what, Brandon Mitchell right now is on fire. He has thrown 14 passes. He is 11 out of 14 for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Cortez was there for the hit, but kind of fell down on his knees, and he was able to hurdle him into the end zone. And now South Central, you have to go for 2 here.
I was really surprised that Cortez didn't bring him down. I thought he had a really good defensive posture, but he was just out-muscled that time.
It was just the second effort there. That gave him the touchdown. It's 13-8. Mitchell rolling to his right. He's looking, quick hitter, tipped and incomplete. No good. So the game remains 13-8 South Central with 7:21 left here in the first half, and we got ourselves a shootout now after nothing in the first quarter.
I know a lot of high school football teams like to play zone defense because, let's face it, you don't have a lot of guys that can really play man-to-man, but I would really like to see Northmoor get up in the faces of those South Central receivers and see what they can do man-to-man, because right now they are shredding them by giving them that cushion. It's really haunting them defensively right now.
I'd like to welcome everybody in watching on Facebook and YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments. Carl Gray, South Central class of 98, go Trojans. Teresa Murphy, let's go Max. Let's go 73. Bonnie Wiseman is watching. Go Knights. Thomas Baker watching as well. Thank you all. Let us know where you're watching from. Also on YouTube, we got a lot of people watching. 70 plus on Facebook, 50 plus on YouTube.
Well, the first downs are 5 for South Central, 4 for Northmoor. So it's a very even game as far as first downs, and it's a very even game on the scoreboard at 13-8. Half the second quarter is now gone, and we keep saying it. It was a key drive that time for South Central. Now it's a key drive for Northmoor. They have to answer here.
And another big boot. That's going to be taken at the 4 by Ramos. Across the 10, 15, 20, has a bit of a hole. Across the 25, breaks a tackle up to the 30. Still up to the 35. Give him a gain of 30 yards, weaving in and out. He may have run actually 50 yards, but they're going to give him 30. And Northmoor will start 1st and 10 on their 35.
Good tackle that time by number 67, Gage Laudeman. He did a nice job of holding his blocker and then slid off the blocker and brought down the running back. So nice job on the special teams that time by Laudeman.
And just a reminder, stay tuned for the J&F Construction halftime. We will have the halftime band show, South Central and Northmoor bands. We will have stats, breakdown of the first half, and more. So stick around for the J&F Construction halftime show. Cortez, he keeps it. Try to go straight, jukes to the right, breaks a tackle, and then he's going to be caught up and maybe gets a yard. So this is the second time a Northmoor player went about 3 times the distance to get a smaller amount.
I was going to say, I think he ran 26, 27 yards that time to get 1. Sometimes you're just better off saying, you know what, this play is busted. I'm just going to lower my shoulder and go straight north and south and see what I can get and call it a day.
I guess that's what the high schoolers get for watching the NFL players try to do that all the time. Handoff, Lauer breaks through the hole, up to the 45 and almost to midfield, and Lauer's starting to get going, and that's could be a problem for South Central.
12 yards on that carry for Lauer. He's now got 27 yards on 6 carries, so he's starting to get warmed up. But Garrett Corwin really gave him a jump start that last possession. He had a couple of nice runs for 8 and 17 yards, and now they're realizing they've got a double whammy to have to stop here.
Handoff, Cortez actually kept it, and he's going to get close to the first down, and yeah.
A late flag just came in, and we may have a hold against Andrew Amrose.
So Amrose, they're going to call on the hold behind the line of scrimmage as well, it looks like. So once again, Northmoor backed up after a good gain.
And that is their 5th penalty of the night. 38 yards on those 5 flags. And South Central has been flagged 3 times, and both teams have really kind of chosen poor timing for those flags. Not that there's a good time for them, but they have really picked them at critical bad times.
And going back to your comment about Corwin, last week against Seneca East, 1 carry minus 2 yards. It was all Cortez and Lauer. So if he can get going with the other 2 running, Northmoor could have a pretty good rushing attack. Cortez was getting pressured there. It looked like he was going to get taken down in the backfield, but he gets away and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
We'll see.
I think that's about all he got. He's carried 3 times and has 17 yards so far tonight. Whoops, I'm sorry. That was Corwin that I just gave that to. Cortez ran that one. He's carried it 6 times for 73 yards now.
So Cortez 1 away from his total from last week. 2nd down and 20 from the Northmoor 37 as we go under 5.5 to play in the half. Cortez, the screen to Lauer. He got it across the 40, carrying South Central Trojans across the 45 to the 46. Now they're going to mark him at the 45, so it's going to be 3rd down and 12, so they do get some of those yards back after the penalty.
So far, Cortez, 4 out of 4 for 35 yards. He's doing it in the air, and he's doing it on the ground as well. They just aren't getting the chunks that South Central is.
Now and they get South Central to jump.
Yep, the encroachment for South Central. Looks like big number 77 there, Connor Mills, was the one who just got a little excited, and it was 3rd down and about 12. Now it's 3rd down and about 7. So you really just gave them 5 free yards by jumping.
And before that, it was 2nd down and 22. So Northmoor back into a manageable 3rd down now after really digging themselves a hole. So 3rd and 7 from midfield, 4:40 left in the half. It's going to be a handoff to Cristo, and he has a hole across the 40 down to the 36, and that's a Northmoor 1st down. As you take a look at the replay, just a huge hole off that right side.
14 yards that time and a huge hole.
And that typically happens when you have guys like Andrew Armrose and then big old Dustin Sanders at 6'8", 315 on that side open up a hole for you.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I think the defense was thinking pass.
Handoff again to Cristo. And this time he's going to be bottled up maybe after a yard. So we come up on 4 minutes left here in the half.
So Cristo has come in and relieved Lauer, and he has 3 carries for 18 yards, and Corwin has 2 carries for 17 yards. Those two have combined for about 30 yards, and that's nice to give Lauer that break.
And balance for the offensive attack of Northmoor. You can't take a break if Lauer isn't in the backfield thinking pass. Now you have to think it's more balanced. And here comes a little hitter left side to Ramos across the 30 down to the 28. He gets hit and taken down, but a nice play for Northmoor to set up another 3rd and short.
Quick little 7-yard pass, but that's really about a 2-yard pass in the air, but then he picks up the other 6 or 7 yards running the football. And again, now the DBs for South Central are kind of creeping back and giving some room.
And this is what Northmoor will do. They'll give you the big runs, but then they will dink and dunk you, like we said, with South Central. Haven't seen them with the big play yet early on this season, but you never know, because they really didn't need it last week. They had such a good run game.
Very methodical drive right now for the Golden Knights of Northmoor.
Lauer getting pushed across the 35, and I think he got enough. And they're going to stop the clock, so I believe he did.
Players are definitely pointing 1st down, but I have not seen anyone that is an official with a striped shirt pointing 1st down. They'll take a good hard look now, and we'll see.
They got it. So Max Lauer maybe had 1 yard, but then that big old offensive line got right behind him, and that's legal now in high school football. So, you know,
get that rugby scrum going.
With a little help from his friends, he gets the 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 24 as we come up on 2:30 left. Cortez
and
under
a
center.
Little movement. This time the offense, I think, got a little giddy and might have jumped the snap count by just a little bit. Yep.
So take that back to the 29. It'll be 1st and 15.
That's now 6 penalties for 43 yards. And, again, a bad time because only 2.5 minutes left in the first half. You've got a drive moving. It's 1st down. You've got some momentum, and then you have an offside.
Good thing is, though, for Northmoor is they have 3 timeouts left as well, so they can continue to run it to Lauer right there.
Hurdling.
Lauer has that ability, and I saw in practice where he can read a hole. He can swim through those tacklers and get passed into the 2nd level, and that's what he's done multiple times tonight.
He got 9 right there, and he just kind of dove over the offensive line, and once he got his feet on the ground, he just put his head and shoulders down and went for more.
2nd and 6, Cortez looking to the end zone, and it's in and out of the hands of Andrew Armrose. Nice defensive play there by South Central.
Yep, Hagen Adams got his fingers up and tips it away. It was a beautiful pass as Cortez threw it right on the money.
And just at the last second, Adams, and we've called his name a lot tonight, with the big play. So it's going to be 3rd down now and about 6 for Northmoor from the South Central 21 with 1:59 left on a stop second quarter clock.
First incomplete pass of the night for Cortez. He is 5 out of 6 for 42 yards.
And handoff there to Cristo, tackled at the last second. That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle, but I think it's going to bring up 4th down and maybe 1. And this is where you have to think this is either going to be a keeper or a handoff to Lauer. But head coach Scott Armros is going to take a timeout and allow the Golden Knights to think this one over with 1:32 left. That's only their first timeout of the first half, so they do have 2 remaining. But this is a very, very big play in terms of this whole game because Northmoor, yes, they do get the second half kickoff, but if they can punch it in here, momentum's completely on their side going into the break.
Well, in high school football, a minute 32 is a long time because the clock will stop on a first down, and they still have 1 to get here. So if they want to sneak it or whatever to get that first down, they can afford to run the football, and hardly any time is really going to come off the clock. I'm going to assume they're calling 2 plays in the huddle right now, and they're probably asking Cortez, what are your favorite 2 right now? And one of them needs to be a pass. So which one do you want to go with? It may even be just a short little 5-yard out pattern where they can then get the ball out of bounds and re-spot it again. So I'm going to assume they make quarterback sneak it here or hand it off to Lauer, and then they're going to come out and get right up over the ball and probably throw a quick slant or a quick out.
Scores from around the area: Carey 7, Galleon 7. After 3 quarters, Lucas 7, Hillsdale 6. Worcester up 10-2 against Wadsworth, and Mansfield Senior up on Marion Harding 23-6. And there's the first down.
Yep, no real surprise. Lauer on the right side carries for about 3 yards. And now they'll quickly get up over the football, as I thought they would. And now let's see if they throw a quick out or maybe a slant. It could even be a double move.
It's like you've watched high school football for a while.
Well, it's been a while, but, yeah, I have.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You got right back on. Cortez takes the snap, gives it to Lauer. Lauer jukes, gets tackled, maybe gets 1 or 2.
Not much there. Good defensive play that time, number 77. Connor Mills, the defensive tackle, was quickly penetrating that offensive line. And up until right there at that play on this whole entire drive, we've seen Northmoor's offensive line really handling this drive. But right there, they didn't have as much luck because I really think they were anticipating run. I really would have liked to have seen a pass on that first down just to try and keep them on their toes, and plus it stops the clock without having to use this timeout that they're using right now with 1:03 left.
Yes, and Northmoor, Lauer got 1 on the play. That was a good job by South Central to wrap up and really trip him up. Some more scores from around the area. Winford leading 9-6 at the half over Marion Pleasant. Loudonville and Sharpsville, Pennsylvania tied at 0. River Valley and Madison tied at 7. And Plymouth up big, 35-7 with a minute left in the half. Shelby leading 31-7 at the half. They lead Lexington. And Hayden Gray, the Shelby grad, very happy about that one.
He's being a cheerleader for the second time tonight. I think he may have that in his background. So 2nd and 9, and a reverse.
And the reverse, and they ate it right up.
I'll tell you what, they were all over that. Gavin Sexton was one of the first in there along with Mills, and that was almost like they were in the huddle listening. And now the clock just keeps on ticking. They should have had a couple of plays called in that huddle so they could just come right back up, especially if you're going to run a running play, because that time is really valuable right now.
38 seconds on the running clock. 3rd and 14 from the 16. Cortez back to pass, getting rushed across the middle. Wide open touchdown, Trenton Ramos.
16 yards on the touchdown strike, and I'll tell you what, that was a thing of beauty. He started to think about either running or just throwing it away, and then he spotted his man Ramos right down the gut at the last second, and he put a lot of mustard on this throw. As you'll see him right here, kind of think, I might run, but then he really fires a BB.
And the safety bit on that outside play and allowed Ramos to run right across, wide open down the middle. Golden Knights take the 1-point lead here with 28 seconds left in the half, and we're going to have a stoppage, timeout, Northmoor. Now are they going to think about going for 2 to make this a 3-point lead? They had the lead nonetheless.
I'll tell you what, Cortez is very quietly putting together a nice night. He is 7 out of 8 for 58 yards and a touchdown, and didn't even throw a pass, I don't think, that first quarter. So he's really started to light things up here. He might have thrown a couple, I guess, at the end of the first quarter. But he has really started to light things up here, and both quarterbacks are really playing well. Cortez, 7 out of 8, and let's see, Mitchell is, I think I saw 11 out of 14. So these two quarterbacks are really putting on quite a show tonight.
And actually, I was at Northmoor's practice on Wednesday, and Coach Scott Armrose said to Cortez, hey, a guy's coming at you, just at least try and get it away. You're going to get hit. No, you're going to take the hit, but still get a good throw off, and that's exactly what he did there because he had a linebacker coming right at him, and he was still able to zip that in for the touchdown.
He took the shot, but he knew his man was open right down the center seam.
Golden Knights going for 2 to try to extend this to a 3-point game. Lauer on the direct snap, and he is in. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. Good. Northmoor now with a 3-point lead with 28 seconds left in the half.
Well, this game got off to a sluggish start as these two teams kind of felt each other out. They were kind of like a pair of boxers in the ring, just kind of throwing those little jabs and wanting to see what haymaker might be able to land later. And now they're going to the haymakers, and they're making some big hits on each other.
16-13. Northmoor with the lead. A 65-yard drive there for the Golden Knights to answer the South Central touchdown. And I believe the last 4 drives have resulted in touchdowns by 2 each by both teams.
Yes, and sometimes the first down story tells the story. Northmoor has 8 on the night. South Central has 5, and if you remember, they only had 1 the entire first quarter, so they really have picked things up in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was like 2-1 or 1-1 until these last 2 drives.
Yeah, and until both of these quarterbacks decided to start picking on a certain area. And let's see now whether the DBs tighten up a little bit for Northmoor. Probably won't have much to do with only 23, 24 seconds left to play here in the first half. I doubt that we're going to see South Central really risk an interception and a big return, so we're probably just going to see a handoff or a kneel down. But that might be one of the big adjustments we see by Coach Armrose at halftime is get those DBs up and let's see what we can do. Music is the guy that really probably alarms them because he's so fast and so quick. You just don't want to get him into the open field.
So South Central.
Looks like the safety position, they've got 2 guys kind of back in case the ball gets fumbled, but it looks like they're just going to take a knee.
And I saw a couple coaches walk behind us from South Central, so they are going to take the knee, and that's going to do it for the first half. So after a slow start, 4 straight drives of touchdowns, and the Golden Knights out to the 16-13 lead.
Well, not much rushing yardage for South Central, but they made up for it with the passing yardage. And Northmoor has a very balanced attack. I'm sure we'll see that when we add up the halftime statistics. But this ball game on paper is just as close as it is on the scoreboard, 3 points.
And that reads Northmoor 16, South Central 13. We're going to take a break and be back with the halftime band show live and free on the OH.Report.
County Hospital, along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. we keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrill County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrill County.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I got charity attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Back in 1970, but disc jockeys preferred this tune over the A-side song, featuring Junior Sam Deppen on trombone and our Trojanettes. Here is Your Song. That got a lot of airtime and soon became a fan favorite are these 1973 tunes, Benny and the Jets and Saturday Night's All Right. close our show, we perform a hit from the 1975 movie Tommy. Featuring our drum line, here is Pinball Wizard. Trojans are directed by Mr. Joe Gaither and Mrs. Caitlin Mabry. Trojans co-advisors Ms. Jennifer Pickett and Ms. Jackie Taylor. We thank Northmoor High School for welcoming us and supporting music in our schools.
The guys on the OH.Report wanted
And welcome to Northmoor Marching Band's halftime show. Tonight's show will feature great music from the 1970s. First up, we go back to 1978. This song remains popular and is played at many sporting events in the U.S. and Europe, with crowds joining in on the special dance in which arm movements are used to spell out the 4 letters of this song's title. This song was a hit around the world, going to #1 on the charts in over 15 countries, and its ongoing popularity is evidence that despite all the naysayers, disco has never truly died, because it's fun to be at the YMCA. Coming up next in tonight's performance is a song written and performed by the Bee Gees from the Saturday Night Fever motion picture soundtrack. The song was released in 1977 as a second single from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. We feature our Color Guard members, Anna, Kaylin, Emma, McKenna, Zoe, Alyssa, and Emily, as the band performs Staying Alive. Our final song for tonight's performance is by the English rock band Deep Purple. It was first released on their 1972 album Machine Head. In 2004, the song was ranked on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. It also ranked number 4 in Total Guitar magazine's greatest guitar riffs ever. This is Smoke on the Water.
Back up where 309 was. Go back the other way. Right, 5 miles probably.
along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrill County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrill County.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents totally unrealistic, never gonna happen in a million years mom fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I thought she had a tech. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
It's halftime here in North Bloomfield Township. Northmoor leading South Central 16-13 at the break. Travis Berardi along with Lynn Passet. And the two bands did pretty darn good out there at the halftime band show.
I think they showed improvement from week 1 to week 2, just like the two football teams have. So they were both exceptional and had a good time listening to the music from both bands.
As we take a look at those halftime stats, 16-13 on your scoreboard, but most of these yards, most of the first downs came in the second quarter.
And they came in big chunks. Rushing-wise, Trey Beverly, 8 carries for 25 yards for South Central. Brandon Mitchell, 11 out of 14 for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. When you look at Northmoor, it was Max Lauer, 8 carries, 39 yards, and the quarterback, Marcus Cortez, 5 out of 6, 73 yards, and he threw a touchdown strike as well. Big plays were really the difference in this one, and penalties were a difference. Northmoor with 8, South Central with just 5, but we couldn't stop emphasizing how those penalties just kept coming at really bad times. Not that any penalty is coming at a good time, but when it's 3rd and 2 and you have an offsides, or when it's 3rd and 9 and you have a holding penalty after you just got the first down, and now you go from making the first down and having a fresh set of downs to going right back to where you were before. It's just been one stiffening problem after another for these two head coaches, and I'm sure they're going to get things figured out. Coach Fick Eisen of South Central, I think for him, he wants to probably keep the passing game going. Those quick hitters have been really working, and then when you look at Scott Armoros for Northmoor, I think he just wants to pound it and mix in the pass whenever he can, but I think throwing on off-passing downs is going to be a key for Northmoor because they're having a lot more success when they are throwing on 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 4 on those downs where South Central is kind of expecting a run. That's when they're creeping in with the pass, and it seems to really be working.
And for Northmoor, you talked about the penalties. They were able to get – that's the difference in the game right now was that 2-point conversion the first time to make it 8-7 was because of an encroachment penalty. They went for 2 instead, scored on that, and then they were able to overcome a holding penalty. Remember that holding penalty on Armrose back here on that final drive where Max Lauer and company were able to get a couple big chunk run plays, and that really set up the touchdown right before the break to make it 16-13 on the Morrill County Hospital scoreboard as we're about ready to kick off the third quarter, and a really good one. Started off looking like a defensive battle, but then the offense has got things going, and we're ready for more. As Northmoor, I believe they deferred the opening toss, and they will receive. They'll be going right to left.
And the wind has kind of shifted, and we actually have a tiny little breeze now, and it's actually to the back of Hagan here, who is about to kick for South Central, and he has been booming them down to the 5-yard line all night, so now he's got a little bit of wind to his back. Let's see what he does with it.
We'll see if Adams can kick it into the student section wearing their Hawaiian gear for Hawaiian night for the Knights Castle crew, but that's taken at the 10 across 25-30 and wrapped up, and we have a late flag on the play as well.
Well, I think they're going to get Nico Cristo for illegal use of the hands as he had those hands up. He didn't like the call. I'm not sure. I was actually watching him. I didn't really particularly care for the call either, but in high school football, if it's a little bit iffy, you're usually going to get it.
Yeah, you're always told that if you can see the outside of the shoulder pads, don't go for the block, even if it's close. And right on that line, he's going to be penalized. And once again, Northmoor starting off the second half with a penalty after a decent return. Now they're backed up to the 20 where they'll start 1st and 10.
That's 53 yards in penalties against Northmoor in a half. So if they keep this pace, they're going to go the entire football field tonight in penalties. That's a no-no, can't be happening.
1st and 10, we're going to have a sweep to the right from Corwin, and he has an opening. And he's going to get out close to the first down where they have him marked off at. That's going to be a gain of 9, so it'll bring up 2nd down and short.
I'll tell you what, it's too bad he slipped, and that turf is probably just a little moist yet from the rains that we got earlier. He wanted to shift his feet, and they just kind of went out from underneath him.
Last week, Northmoor 6 penalties for 45 yards, so they've already surpassed that. It's Corwin once again busts across the line to gain. That's going to be a 1st down for the Golden Knights, and Corwin picking up where he left off in the first half with just some dominating runs here.
Yeah, he's carried the ball 4 times tonight for carries of 8, 17, 8, and 3. So he's been a nice little relief change of pace for Max Lauer.
And even for Cortez, who's had a few keepers as well. Lauer in motion going right. We'll see if that's where they go, and that's where Cortez is going to go up the right. He has a hole, and he's going to get another good chunk out of there. They're going to give him 4, maybe 5 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 6. So Northmoor starting off with those 3, 4, 5-yard chunks.
Marcus Cortez ran the ball 6 times in the first half for 73 yards, and then he kind of went from running to throwing, and he didn't really throw at all in that first quarter, and he was 6 out of 7 for the night and a touchdown in that first half.
Handoff left side, and Corwin once again got hit in the backfield, but still able to fight that off and get a couple yards, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 4, so it's going to be manageable after the short gain.
Yeah, Corwin shook an attempted tackle in the backfield and just put his bowl head down and said, okay, I'm going to get whatever I can get, and he got about 2, and it sets him up now with a 3rd and 4.
And that's the difference between last year's Northmoor squad and this year. Last year they weren't able to break those tackles, but, a summer in there as they got South Central to jump there. We'll make sure, it's going to be encroachment. So Northmoor, they're going to get a 1st down out of a penalty now against South Central. So we were talking about Northmoor hurting themselves, but now it's South Central giving Northmoor the 1st down after backing them up to start the drive.
And I noticed as they jumped, they actually had 5 down linemen. They were playing run on that play all the way. They had 5 defensive linemen, and they were stunted to the near side. Let's see what they do here now on 1st and 10.
But this Northmoor squad, after a summer in the weight room, a whole summer of practicing, they're beefed up a little bit and able to break those tackles like Cortez is able to do, and he's going to get a good 9 yards out of that, bring up 2nd down and 1 for the second time in this quick drive because there's still 9-10 left in the 3rd quarter. Northmoor gets an 8-9-yard run on 1st down.
Yeah, they're definitely flexing their muscles right now, and we talked at the beginning of the ball game. Every football game is won or lost on the line of scrimmage, and right now Northmoor is prevailing on the line of scrimmage.
I believe that's Corwin in there, but Cortez is going to look to throw. Instead, he's going to keep it, and I think he dove across the line to gain. We'll see where they marked him out. It's on the far sideline, so I don't know exactly where they're going to mark him down. But this near ref said he didn't get anything. So
yeah, I think he's right back where he started from. So it's now going to be 3rd and a long 1.
To take a look, ball still on the 49. Line to gain is at the 48. So 3rd down and 1, 8:40 on a stop, third quarter clock. Northmoor leading South Central by 3, but looking to add on here. This time it's going to be a sweep to the left, and that's going to be an easy first down by Garrett Corwin, who once again fought off a couple tacklers early, as you're going to see on the Hot Shot secret replay, but still avoids one tackler, gets across the line to gain, busts through a couple more, and gets that first down. And these big offensive running backs behind these big offensive linemen for Northmoor starting to get that momentum back.
Yeah, if you look at big number 73 on the left side, Dustin Sanders, he is
6'8", 315-pound senior.
And he is a big boy to follow. And right there, Cortez got popped just as he threw the football.
Yeah, that was one of those you had to get it off quick. Fake the handoff, but nobody was buying that. And lucky to even get the ball off. That was intended for Griffin Workman.
Well, and they threw on an off down. They've been running a majority of the night on first down, so there they took a shot on first down. They actually had an opening. The ball was just thrown hurriedly and behind the intended receiver.
2nd and 10 from the South Central 42. Corwin once again has a hole, an opening across the 25, the 35 to 30, and down to the 27-yard line. South Central coaches looking for a hold right there, and they're not going to get it, and that's going to be another Northmoor first down.
52 yards on 7 carries for Garrett Corwin, and I'll tell you what, he does it very quietly.
Yes, and why do you need to give it to Max Lauer? Let him get that break right now because Corwin getting the job done.
They have definitely kind of caught this South Central defense off guard by moving Lauer to that slot position, who's now in motion, and they're just feeding Corwin now.
And Lauer being the linebacker he is, he can block too. Corwin this time not able to get through.
Nowhere to go. Trey Beverly that time was reading the play perfectly for South Central, and he just chopped him right down at the knees.
That was a good job by that interior defensive line by South Central to keep hold of the line and force the no gain. Actually a loss of 2, so South Central doing their job on there and forcing a loss on first down. Now Northmoor backed up a little bit, and now we're going to have a stoppage. The back judge, he's going to call the other referees over here, the head ref.
I think it might be the play clock. It was only at 17, which seems like that was kind of high for when they broke the huddle. I'm not 100% sure the play clock actually got reset correctly.
So we have a little bit of a powwow here. While we have that break, tonight's high school football broadcast is brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to our generous sponsors, Morrow County Hospital. Don't wait to get sick. Put your health first. Visit morrowcountyhospital.com for your online appointment. Hot Shot Secret, protective fuel and oil additives for your diesel experts. Get 10% off your first order at hotshotsecret.com. J&F Construction, building your future today. Design yours at jfconstruction.com. And Frito-Lay, get social with Frito-Lay using the hashtag Frito-Lay for a chance to be featured on their website and social media accounts. As we are just about ready to get back to action here. The referees, I believe, corrected everything.
Yeah, I think it was the play clock. It's now set at 25, and they had broken the huddle, and usually you're inside 15 seconds, and it was still at 17.
Yeah, they stopped it at 18 or 17, so they got that situated. Handoff once again to Corwin. This time he has a hole, 20, 15, 10, 5. Nobody catches him. Touchdown, Northmoor.
30 yards for Garrett Corwin, and they are just wearing out the left side of that South Central defense. They have definitely found a mismatch by leaving Lauer in the slot position. Sometimes they put him in motion, sometimes they don't, but he has been kind of the lead blocker on most of these plays.
Caleb Chenier on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 7:06 left here in the third quarter, Northmoor now leading by 10, 23-14. And a big play there by the workhorse for that drive, Garrett Corwin.
Yeah, they have kind of gone away from lining up Max Lauer in the backfield, and they've moved him now to the slot position. He's doing a lot of blocking, and the defense, I'm sure, came into this ball game thinking Lauer is who we've got to stop. He's been the workhorse. Last week he ran for 4 touchdowns and 128 yards, so they saw on tape what they figured they had to stop. And now, suddenly, Northmoor's gone away from him, and they're now feeding Corwin, and he's using the blocking. And right there you saw the big tackle, Gavin Whitted, pull on that play, and he made a key block to help spring that 30-yard run.
Yeah, perfectly executed. And you know what? Coach Armrose and company had a little extra time during that referee timeout to get the right play there, and it worked perfectly.
Corwin only had 4 carries at halftime and 28 yards, and he came out and carried the ball 5 times on that drive, and he's got 82 yards now.
So that kick barely goes into the end zone, almost went out of bounds, but nonetheless, Northmoor with a big boot there. South Central will start on their own 25. With Northmoor up by 10.
Well, we talked about how Northmoor needed to score a touchdown right before halftime. They did it. And now we talked about how they really needed another score to open up the second half. They did it. Now we need to see how South Central can react, because suddenly they're down 23-13, and that was a long, exhausting drive. They had nothing to do but sit there and watch them move the ball about 70 yards and eat up a ton of time. So now they're a little cold. They haven't been on the field. Let's see what the offense can do.
And it's a handoff up the middle by Beverly, and he might get a couple out of that one.
Looks like he got about 3. That was his 7th carry of the night for 28 yards after last week getting 76 yards on 11 carries. So he's on pace for that 11-12 carry night.
2nd down and 7, and like you said, Northmoor taking half of the third quarter out with that lone drive to put them up 10. South Central, they need an answer here.
And Music, once again, a tipped ball, and he still is able to catch it. And I was just about to say they are still giving him a 10-yard cushion, and they're going to take good advantage of that.
As you see on the replay, yeah, another slant. And he actually got thrown another 5 yards there. Kept his balance after he was wrapped up by Stoney, but he gets across midfield. Now it's 1st down on the Northmoor 49, and South Central right back at it. We got a pitch outside the Beverly, and he's going to get maybe 3-4 yards out of it to bring up 2nd down.
Something else we're going to really want to keep our eyes on, because it's a hot, muggy night with the rain that had already hit, and we talked about it before we even hit the air tonight. Northmoor, for being a small school, only has 4 guys going both ways. South Central has a lot of guys going both ways. We'll see how conditioning plays in the 4th quarter.
It's going to be a fake to the screen, wide open. That's Adams, 20, 15, 10, 5. South Central answers. Touchdown, Trojans.
Boy, that didn't take long. 46 yards on the pass, and Mitchell is on fire tonight. He is now 12, make that 14 out of 17 for 197 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And that ball fake was all he needed, because he got the linebacker to bite on the screen, left Adams wide open. And now South Central looking, are they going to get they're going to go for the extra point? It looks like they will. That would make it a 23-20 game. So South Central answers the long drive by Northmoor and does it in less than 2 minutes. Snap down, extra point up, and it is good.
Well, we wondered if South Central would be able to answer. I guess they didn't take much time in letting us know. We don't care how long we stand here and watch the defense. We have some firepower of our own, and 4 plays. They come out and wham, a big touchdown from 46 yards.
And now conditioning on the Northmoor side is this offensive line to these running backs. Now, Max Lauer wasn't even used as a running back on there. He's probably ready to go. But that offensive line, they just had a long drive, and they were on the sidelines for less than 2 minutes. Can they continue to dominate the line of scrimmage, or can South Central take advantage, get the ball back, and maybe take the lead?
Going to be interesting to see. This has been kind of a cat and mouse football game all night long. One team has to answer after the other one starts to get a little bit of the upper hand. Plenty of time now. That drive only took about 2 minutes off the clock, so a lot of time still remaining here in the third quarter. For those of you who are just tuning in, we had a late start because of showers and thunderstorms, about a 45-minute delay here, so that's why we're running a little late tonight. But for those who are here, we talked about it earlier, they're standing along the fence about 4 deep on one end.
I sure missed that after last year.
That's fun.
This is
standing
awesome. But yeah. And also, I just saw on the Facebook comments, Corwin with the big touchdown. He's the birthday boy today.
Oh, is that right?
Garrett Corwin's birthday. So let's see if he continues to help out the Golden Knights. Is that squib kick taken by Gavin Miller across the 40? So after the squib, now Northmoor with really good field position.
Okay.
I thought South Central would actually boot that down,
I did
pin
too.
him back, but
He's
Northmoor
been booming the football to the 5 or 10 yard line every single kick, and now they kind of changed it up. Maybe they thought they might catch Northmoor a little off guard.
So the Golden Knights will start 1st and 10 from their 40. 5:31 left here, third quarter. And we'll see if it stays with Corwin or does Lauer and Cortez start taking over. This time it's a handoff to Cristo. And he's going to stay on his feet, get through a couple, and another 9-yard gain on first down. So to answer your question about that offensive line, at least for that first play, they look pretty darn good still.
I was kind of watching the double wideouts to the lower part of the screen. A lot of territory being given by South Central, and they kind of jumped back. And I think you might see some kind of a wide receiver bubble screen coming because they kind of faked them out with that, and now we've got them off sides again. Boy, South Central's been jumping that cadence a lot here in the second half. That's their second penalty. Both have been off sides. They're now up to 58 yards in penalties.
And I saw this on Wednesday in Northmoor's practice. What they will do is they will give you that hard count, then look to the sideline to get the call from Coach Armrose. And I saw even Northmoor's their scout defense jump off sides a couple times because Cortez has that hard count, and it's worked at least 3 times tonight. Cristo, again, getting at least the line of scrimmage after being hit in the backfield. He'll get 1. Now bring up second down in about 9. So we come up on 4.5 left here in the third quarter. However, Northmoor in South Central territory now on the 45.
Cristo with 5 carries, 28 yards. He's been kind of workmanlike tonight. They're really keeping the running backs fresh.
It's a fake to Cristo. Cortez throws it left side. Is that going to be caught? Yes, they say it was caught by Ramos.
I thought it was a catch. Now
nope,
he's
and now they're going to
off.
call it incomplete. The back judge. Let's take a look at the replay and see if we can see for ourselves because it is on our side. There's the pass backwards. And you know what? The down sign was actually in our way. And I actually think the side, I don't know. That side judge I thought had a better view from the back judge. But, hey, they both agree after it's all said and done. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. That might be a big play because that was a good 4-yard gain. Instead of 3rd and 5, it's 3rd and 9.
From my vantage point, it looked like a catch, but we couldn't see what they could see as he rolled.
Yes.
So,
could have bobbled it, could have hit the ground.
I always say side with the official. They know what they're doing. We're a long ways off, no matter what the call.
And Cristo, it don't matter for him. He's going to get the first down. Pushed along. That second effort has been huge for the Golden Knights tonight.
I'll tell you what, he runs hard. He needed 8, and he got just about 10 that time, and they needed every inch of that 10.
And at least 4 offensive linemen were at least 5 yards down the field when that play, as it was developing. So it's the play of that offensive line. Now, you know what, I forgot to mention saying Northmoor's offensive line was out there, but the defensive line for South Central was out there just as long. They only got a 2-minute break as well.
And
so
they're going both ways.
Yes,
a lot more.
That may be, like you said, that may be a huge factor here unless South Central can, get somewhat of a drive where you can get some substitutions in there. Northmoor may be in control.
Last drive, it was Corwin. This drive, it seems to be Cristo, and they're just pounding them with one back after another, and they've got to be thinking, gosh, is there anybody that doesn't carry the football on this team? Because they are just really ramrodding them right now.
Spin move. Does he stay on his feet? He does. He stays on his feet for another 6 yards to help him out. That's going to be a first down, and once again, all you need is a small hole, and these running backs are able to just go through. You talk about the wide receivers for South Central, but the running backs for Northmoor easily evening things out.
20-yard run, 8 carries, 68 yards now for Cristo. And they are just keeping the running back situation as fresh as possible. And they love that counter play to the right. Finally, South Central was – now we got a late flag coming in, and this might be against South Central.
Late hit maybe?
Or
I don't
taunting.
know. Yeah. Well,
I believe it's going to be South Central that gets it.
Let's take a look at the replay. I don't see much there.
Might have been something we didn't see, but they
nope,
heard.
They're going to pick it up.
They're picking it up. So
that's good.
Sometimes there are things said that we can't hear, obviously,
yes.
And that's always a possible situation as well. So that's the first negative call that we've seen in a while for Northmoor. They lost about 3 yards on that play. So that sets them back at 2nd and 13.
So here's that replay of that 20-yard run that we got. Spin move, stays on his feet for a good 6 yards. And there's Cristo again across the 10, down to the 5. And he's going to be close to the first down, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and maybe 2.
Nico Cristo had 18 yards at halftime on 3 carries. Now he's up to 9 carries for 88. He has gained a lot of yards, 70 yards here in the second half on 6 carries. So he is really getting them in chunks.
3rd and 4 from the South Central 5.
And look at Lauer back in the backfield now, but a
bad
high snap.
Cortez getting hit in the backfield. He's going to be taken down at the 10. Now they say.
And now, of course, the fans who are 55, 60 yards away want to start debating the call. This was not even close. He's down. Right there, he's down. Even if you got it, you're on your knees. So relax, people. Let's let the officials do their thing. They're always on top of it. We don't like to give them the credit they deserve, but
coming from a basketball official too, which
well,
you've done a good job at that.
Well, we don't need to go there, do we? They'll start pelting me with tomatoes.
I've gone to a couple of games that you've refereed. I knew you looked familiar because I didn't meet you at the OH.Report yet until today. And I figured that's what it was. Now we're going to get a penalty.
Foul. Yeah, we had a personal foul after the play. So from the 10 all the way back to the 25. So there's another 15-yard big-time hitter against Northmoor.
And that takes him out of field goal range now, too.
And that's 68 yards in penalties tonight on 8 flags.
So now fourth down and long. 4th and goal from the 25-yard line. Northmoor needs to get into the end zone here.
We talked about how many times they shot themselves in the foot in the first half with penalties, and this one really came at a bad time. Got to have
Cortez
composure.
Back, getting rushed. Rushes off to his side, stays up, but he's just going to take off and get taken down, and then they're going to get bailed out.
They got bailed out with a horse collar on the far side, and that's going to set up a first down at around the 10-yard line, maybe even inside of.
Wow. Take a look at the tail end of this, and got taken down right on the pads, and the referees were right there for it. That's a huge call. We'll see, the referees are discussing it right now, but
basically it was 4th and goal. I mean, they could have gotten a first down at about the 2, I believe, but now they're going to have first, if not first and goal, at least around the 15, I would think. But this should be a 15-yarder, and is it inside the 20, so it's half the distance? I believe that's what they were talking about, is where exactly on the field this penalty took place. But it's going to be a first down no matter what. Oh, they're pointing first down South Central? It's after the play.
After the play, it was a dead ball.
So he's out of bounds. So South Central didn't bail out Northmoor, but they certainly didn't help themselves any because
the play was out of bounds when he got taken down like that. So that's a tough break for the Golden Knights, but it does back South Central up half the distance. So they will have to pretty much go the length of the field here, but a lot of time left. 1:57 left in the third.
South Central's had 7 penalties tonight, but they've been opportunistic because 2 of those have been inside where they're half the distance, so they haven't really chunked up as badly as Northmoor's have tonight. So 7 penalties against South Central, and we have, I believe, 7 or 8 against Northmoor.
Short. They were short, but they did hurt because one led to a 2-point conversion that really is the reason why the Golden Knights are up by 3.
That definitely turned this ball game. Whoever thought a 2-point conversion in the first half could be so big?
Quick hitter, and that time a nice job by Northmoor to get the stop immediately. And that's going to be a loss of 2. So finally the Golden Knights get a loss on a play here early in the down. So it's going to be second down and long now. 2nd and 12 from the South Central 8-yard line.
Brandon Mitchell has completed 12 straight passes in a row. He hasn't thrown an incompletion since
He's
his
going to try
fourth
again,
attempt.
And that just out of the hands of Caden Holler just led him a little too much.
I guess I just jinxed him like a free throw shooter, didn't I?
The good old commentator jinx right there.
But still, quite a performance by Brandon Mitchell tonight. He has now thrown 18 passes. He's 14 out of 18 for 195 yards and 3 touchdowns. And a week ago, he threw for 245 and 4 touchdowns. And we're still in the third quarter, so he's still got some time to work on those stats. But most importantly, they want to work on the scoreboard.
2 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Mitchell's going to go right. And he has a man open and caught for the first down.
20-yard gain out to the 26.
So South Central with the big gain there on third down, had plenty of time, ran the route perfectly. And the Trojans now back in business now, first down. And he put that in the perfect spot because there were 3 Golden Knights around him, and he just dropped it right where he needed to.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mitchell is not just on fire, but he just has a good sense of where the ball needs to go and when it needs to go. I'm really impressed with his football awareness. Not sure what we have a whistle for right now, but
referee's coming in.
Each of the line judges ran in and had a quick conversation, so I'm not sure what this is about. Okay, 112 is going to go up on the game clock. It's showing 104 right now. They want 112 on the game clock.
So here's a chance also for those South Central linemen to get a little bit more of a break while they reset everything.
C.J. Stoney, your cornerback, is still quite a ways off of young Mr. Music, and I don't think he really wants to give that much room, but he is gun-shy right now.
Mitchell bobbles the snap, gets it off still, and that's going to be caught by Music. And there again, Music on those 5-yard plays brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, he's just looking back at the quarterback, tapping the top of his head and saying, hey, he's 8 yards off of me. All I have to do is run a 3-yard stop, and you hit me, and I can lean forward and get 2. And that's pretty much what happened.
Second and 5. Quick hitter now left side. That's Haller. He has some room across the 35, close to the 40, and another first down for South Central.
Gain of 9 more, and young Mr. Mitchell is just piling up the yardage right now. 229 yards passing. He had 245 last week, and he's on pace to beat that.
30 seconds left here in the third quarter. We'll see. They will have to take a snap. There's 20 on the play clock, 25 on the game clock.
They seem to have pretty much given up on the running game tonight. That's been shut down, so they're just going to do with what they do best.
It's going to be another quick hitter. This time it's Adams. Makes the catch, makes a guy miss, but then he's going to be taken down. So on what should be the final play, another 6 yards. We'll make it 2nd down and 6 when we return. But that will do it for the third quarter. Your score after 3, Northmoor 23, South Central 20. Stay tuned. We got a good fourth quarter coming right at you, live and free on the OH Report.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents totally unrealistic, never gonna happen in a million years mom fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I thought cheer to attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Morrow County Hospital, along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrow County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow.
Back here, start of the fourth quarter, it's going to be a run to music, right side. Does he get enough for the first down? He does not. He's going to get maybe a yard or two. Late flag on the play.
2 flags came in, one from the back judge and one from the side judge, and I think this might be another horse collar, and I didn't think it looked like one. It looked to me like he grabbed him in the back of the shirt rather than the actual shoulder pads, but of course we're at the exact opposite sideline. We're looking across the field, so let's see what it is. Oh, that's actually going to go against South Central.
Was that a block in the back, I believe? Yeah.
That's
so
now the 8th penalty for 47 yards tonight against South Central, and again it comes at a tough time because you got some momentum going, you've been completing some passes, you're out near midfield, and boom, now you go the wrong direction.
So they gained 1 but lost 10 on it, so it's going to be 2nd and 13.
Let's see if they come to the bottom of the screen here to music again. They've been using wideouts to set up the defense for one-on-ones.
He's looking that way. He has a man open, but he's hit and drops it. Haller had it in his hands for a second, but a nice clean play there by Bryson Kearns.
Yeah, nice hit. Timed it perfectly, stripped the ball away from the receiver who had it right in his gut. And that's a tough catch because you're getting popped the second you start to make that catch.
So now a big 3rd down and 13 for South Central. 11:34 left in the game. They trail Northmoor by 3, and that really takes Mitchell and company out of the rhythm after that incompletion.
I think they're going to go to the top of the screen now. Nope, I'm going to be...
Fakes the bubble. He's going to keep it. Throws, and it is incomplete.
When they go 3 wides to one side or even quads to one side, they've been going the opposite way. They've been using them to set up, making the defense think that's where they're going to attack, and then they go to the single coverage person at the opposite side, and here that's kind of what they did again.
And for a second, he had room to keep that too.
Mm-hmm.
He could have made a play, but I don't know how much of a runner he is compared to what Cortez is.
He had 11 carries for 76 yards last week.
So, yeah, then I don't know. He could have kept that. That snap is bounced, but rugby style kicked away, and it's a doozy.
Yeah,
over the head
well
of Ramos, takes it at the 12. Avoids one tackler and runs out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So that bad snap actually benefited South Central because it gave them the rugby style kick, and he booted that.
Their kicking game has been dynamic all night. Their kickoffs have been deep. Their punts have been high and deep. And now they've got Northmoor back to their own 19-yard line. And we're in the 4th quarter. And if you ever wanted a long, sustained drive like the opening drive to the second half for Northmoor, this is where you want it. And if you're South Central, you want a quick 3 and out so you can keep the field position.
You read my mind, Lynn. Literally, I was about to say that. This is the time for Northmoor to get one of those long, sustaining rushing drives. And this is the time to give it to Max Lauer, and that's where he's in the backfield along with Christo. So we'll see. And, yep, there's Lauer. Cuts back inside. Side steps. He's still up across the 25, 30, 35. Has a blocker. 40, 45. Midfield still up. Knocked out of bounds at the 40. Max Lauer. He's been waiting to get his chance, and he took advantage of that. A huge gain.
41 yards for Max Lauer.
A sidestep, a spin move, a juke, had a blocker in front of him. That was Gavin Miller, who had the big hit earlier on defense, and Lauer taking over when he needed the most.
That was his first carry of the second half. Can you believe that? And now they've gone up under center, and they're using a double back set, and that's got to be really double poison for South Central because they've been hurting them with one back in the backfield. Now they don't know which of the two is going to get it, and they're really having a hard time stopping this run game.
Cristo gets 6, bring up second down and short, and Golden Knights right now have South Central on their heels.
10 carries, 94 yards for Nico Cristo, 9 carries for 80 yards for Lauer, and Corwin has 9 carries for 82 yards.
Cortez is going to go to pass, but he's going to keep it. Across the 30 down to the 25, gets hit out of bounds at the 23, but that's enough for a Northmoor first down.
I was about to say they're the three-headed monster on running backs, but even Cortez has now run for over 100 yards tonight as a quarterback.
And if Northmoor is able to pull this out, it's going to be really hard to select the player of the game because you could have 4 guys. We may have our first 4 co-players of the game.
I'll tell you what, this and the offensive line, we cannot give them enough credit.
Lauer has a hole, gets to the back of the safeties, and he's drug inside the 10. And just like that, Northmoor has a first and goal, and it took maybe a minute and a half.
10 carries, 95 yards. I'll take 9.5 yards a carry all night long.
First and goal on the 9 for Northmoor with a chance to make this once again a 2-possession game coming up on 10 minutes left in the game. This time to Cristo. Across the 10 to the 5, rolls down inside the 5. So it'll be second and goal. We'll see where they mark it at the 4.
I'm running out of room on my stat sheet. Not too many times do you see backup running backs get more than 10 carries, and they've really got a nice truckload of running backs that they can choose from right now.
This time it's to Lauer across the 5 to 3, down towards the goal line. Is there a signal? No, he's just short, down at the 1, so it's going to be third and goal from the 1, and we'll see if, well, Lauer saying feed me more right now. Spinning the hands, he wants it. Can South Central pull a Northmoor and get the stop at the goal line, or can Lauer push and company push this back out to 2 possessions? We'll see right here.
I think you're in 4-down territory
Cortez
no matter what.
Fakes, he gives the Cristo, and he gets in. Touchdown, Northmoor. Golden Knights go back up 9.
I'd like to say that's going to really make things tough for South Central, but, you know, they've been able to respond all night long and sometimes very quickly, and we still have 9 minutes left in the ballgame.
29-20. So you take a look at the touchdown one more time. Thought he was going to fake it to Cristo. No, he faked it to Lauer. Actually, that was Lauer. My correction, I got faked out on it. Lauer did take it in.
This offensive line has really performed well tonight for Northmoor. You can't ask for bigger holes, and they just hold their blocks so well.
So with 9:02 left in the game, Northmoor back up 10, 30-20. But like you said, Lynn, South Central has the ability to score within 2 minutes, which they've done already tonight. So this game is far from over. But if Northmoor can get a stop, it's going to be really hard for South Central to come back. So this drive is pivotal for the Trojans.
Very pivotal. You don't score here and the game probably is over because there's just not enough time in a 2-possession football game. But you never want to say never. But this is a huge drive right now. They've got to respond to this Northmoor touchdown. And I'll tell you what, the way they're throwing the football, South Central most definitely is a threat as Brandon Mitchell is, 17 of 22 for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. So that's nothing to scoff at.
These two playing like it's week 11, not week 2. This has been a very entertaining game. After we thought in the first quarter it was going to be a defensive battle, now 50 points have come up.
The only thing that both coaches will probably really talk to their teams about is the penalties.
Yep.
You just can't have as many penalties as these two teams. Each of them have 8 so far.
That ball taken at the 10 by Music. Getting chased. Can he get to the outside? I think he can across the 20, across down to the 30. So a good 20-yard gain, which he had to run about 50 to get, but instead of being backed up, South Central has a decent starting spot here at the 30-yard line. I want to give some shout-outs to some people here watching tonight. Tom Chase, our buddy from Bellevue that's in South Carolina, thanks for the shout-out and appreciate all the love. Dora Brown, way to go Knights. Paul Brown, Teresa Murphy, Trish Factor, Joe Keene. Nice to see you, Joe, in here. Tom Chase, also thank you for the 250 stars. It helped us get a post-game meal coming in here. And Joseph Tatman on YouTube. Let's go Northmoor, Golden Knights.
Well, South Central only has 24 yards rushing. I don't think running the ball is going to be a real threat to this Northmoor defense right now.
And you're probably right. Beverly just back to the line of scrimmage. This defensive line of Northmoor really just stopping things. But when you have guys like Andrew Armrose, Max Lauer, Gavin Whited, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, that four-man front has given them fits running the football, but boy, they are able to do this. They can throw it, and this young man, Music, is just, he runs nice, crisp, clean routes, and then he's so quick when he catches the football. He's really a tough customer to defend.
And that's a 7-yard gain. And what that offensive line for South Central does, yeah, they might not be able to protect the run, but they do enough to allow Mitchell to get the ball off with ease. 3rd down and 3 as we go under 8 minutes left in the game. Northmoor leading 30-20.
Watch Music at the lower part of your screen.
And he's looking that way immediately. Goes for the fake, lobs it up, and just over the reach of Music. And that time Northmoor didn't bite on the fake, and that was just enough to throw him off.
They've been throwing that little 5-yard stop and turn, and this time it was a double move. He actually acted like that's the route he was going to run, and then they pump faked it and went a little long.
4th and 3, South Central is going to go for it under 8 minutes left. This could very well be for the game.
Good call. I like the call.
Mitchell rolling to his right. He's getting blitzed, throws it and is intercepted. Gavin Miller. Gavin Miller with what could be the play of the night with the interception. Mitchell was getting blitzed, and Miller just stepped in front of the receiver, and Northmoor now can run clock.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the football in the air the rest of the night for Northmoor. If you do, it's going to be a real shocker. It's going to be run the ball and run the clock. And I'm sure that Coach Ambrose probably told his team, we cannot hold, we cannot illegally use our hands, just block, and we have great running backs. Just hold your blocks. Don't do anything that's going to even be questionable.
And there's Lauer, the guy you want to give it to. Hurdles a guy and gets a couple extra yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Take a look at that. He got airborne on it.
Well, they've been following the right side, and tonight they now went left side. Dustin Sanders, that big boy, and he's your left guard on that left side of the offensive line, and that might be where they're going to start trying to make some hay.
Yeah, he can move anywhere along that line, and typically if he's on one side, the ball's going to come to it. The only thing is, can you stop him? I talked to him on Wednesday. He said he had 18 pancakes against South Seneca East.
Well, Lauer's over 100 yards now and still going.
And he has a 1st down.
21 first downs on the night unofficially. I have Northmoor for, and 105 yards for Max Lauer.
And a touchdown.
Had 128 a week ago, 105 tonight, but he's getting a lot more help tonight than he got a week ago.
Oh, definitely. It's a very balanced rushing attack, and it's
Christo for 100. Corwin for 82, Lauer for 105, and the quarterback Cortez for 97. I mean, where do you go to stop this team offensively from the run?
Another handoff to Lauer. Reverses field, still gets more yards. And how much what's the passing yards looking like for Cortez right now?
Cortez has, can't read my own writing, 58 yards passing. So he really hasn't done a lot. He hasn't completed a pass in the second half, but he hasn't had to.
He's done a better job, though, than the Seneca East game where he was only 2 of 10. So that helps out a lot for Northmoor as well, and a big passing touchdown right before the half as well to give them the lead. Coming up on 6:04, 6:03 on a running fourth quarter clock. 2nd down and 6 after the Lauer 4-yard run. Ball on the Seneca East 23. Golden Knights can clinch it here if they can score. Handoff Lauer, and he's tripped up. So this is going to be a 3rd down and 5. And just the door's still a little bit open for South Central here. You think Northmoor's probably going to go 2 more times. South Central can stop them. They do have enough time to score twice.
They do, but it's going to have to be quickly. We talked about Cortez. He was 5 out of 7 in the first half, and he's 0 for 2 in the second half. He hasn't had to throw the football in the second half because this running game has just taken over. And he's really running that play clock down, and now he's trying to get him to jump again.
And almost got it, but able to get back. He fumbles the ball. South Central jumps on it.
Wow, second fumble of the night, and South Central has got the football, and they have life.
The door is still open with 5:08 remaining. So after the interception on 4th down, Northmoor gives it right back and now needs to play defense here, up by 10.
Well, we've seen Brandon Mitchell throw the football very well tonight. His last one was picked off. Now we'll see how much that affects him. Most good quarterbacks are able to forget about that last pass, and they're able to just get back on track. Let's see now whether he lets that affect him or whether he goes right back and starts really attacking.
Do you know an Ellen Passet?
I do.
Gave a great comment. Great commentary to us on Facebook
tonight. Did she say you're doing a swell job?
She said I was. She said she didn't know about the color. I'm kidding. No. Appreciate the comment. Zach Ruth, former basketball coach.
When I get home tonight, I'll have a few words for you.
Coach Ruth, also thank you for watching, sir. Great to see you out there. Hope you and the kids are doing fine tonight on this Friday night football. Mitchell back to pass. Getting rushed. Has an opening, throws it up, and it is caught! Parker Gray.
19 yards on the completion.
Mitchell able to scramble just enough to get the completion, and that's a big play. South Central really needed that. As we go under 5 minutes to play, they got a 1st and 10 around midfield.
And let's look at the top of the screen again. You got quads to the lower part. They go to the top.
Another quick hitter. Oh!
They weren't on the same page.
That happened earlier on an interception where those two weren't on the same page, but it does stop the clock. No harm, no foul. Only takes it down away.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think Hagan Adams had the right idea. He was running a slant, but the quarterback, Mitchell, thought he was running an out. The slant was there. Wouldn't have mattered, though. Penalty against South Central.
And that hurts. It takes them back 5 yards. They do get a down back, but they actually lose yardage out of it. I don't know what I'd rather take there.
5 penalties in the second half. That's 9 on the night against South Central. At least Northmoor has cleaned it up in the second half a lot. They still had some penalties, but they've cleaned it up a lot.
Quick hitter over the music. Got it at the 35. Gets to the 40, still up. Spin move, taken down, and gets more than half of the yardage back.
Yep, he got 10 on the button.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
281 yards passing tonight for Brandon Mitchell.
And he's the real deal. He's not only – he had time in the first half, but in this second half he's been getting rushed and still makes some very good passes out there.
21 out of 26.
Quick hitter again. That's going to be complete this time to Adams, and he's going to have the 1st down out of bounds. Stops the clock with 4:04 to go.
Just a short little 7-yard hitch, but you know what? They all add up, and he got the 1st down.
1st and 10 South Central. 4:01 left. Ball on the Northmoor 47. Takes the snap. He's going to roll right. Looking. And it is complete. Nice catch there by Adams, but he stays in bounds. But it's going to be maybe a 6-7 yard completion. Bring up 2nd down and short. However,
dinking and dunking, as you call it, just to get it down the field, and the clock just keeps moving. That's their enemy right now.
Yes, it worked. If this was 3:38 left in the third quarter, this would be perfect. But now time is against them as we come up on 3:30 left in the game. takes the snap. He's looking left. Going for the deep ball, and it is going to be in and out of the hands of Ramos defending. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 with 3:24 left on a stop 4th quarter clock.
Good defensive play by Ramos, Trenton Ramos that time, as he was actually leading the receiver. He was the only one with a real legitimate shot at making the catch on that one for an interception. That's the first incomplete pass in a while, too, for Mitchell. He had hit, after the interception, he'd hit on 5 in a row.
3rd and 2. Mitchell back to pass. It's a screen. It's complete. And that'll be enough for the 1st down. So move the change. Caden Haller on the catch. 3:19 left. They're going to stop the clock while they set up the chains. It'll give South Central a chance to get up to the line. Great game tonight.
Yep, 269 yards passing now for Brandon Mitchell. And now we have a stoppage and a mark-off going against South Central. This one's going to hurt.
A legal block in the back.
Now, they'd already moved the chain, so it must – they'd already given them the 1st down. That's a little confusing right now as to why they moved the chains. This is going to be a real disaster to figure out. They'd already moved the chains.
They did, yeah.
No one knew there was a penalty. I didn't even see the flag come in, so the chain gang moved because everyone else assumed that there was a 1st down. There wasn't very good communication on the officiating crew, so now they've got to figure out where everybody's supposed to be here.
So they're still going to talk this over. And while we have a moment, we'll thank our sponsors one more time. Tonight's high school football broadcast is brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to these generous sponsors. Morrow County Hospital, don't wait to get sick, put your health first. Visit morrowcountyhospital.com for your online appointment. Hot Shot Secret, protective fuel and oil additives from your diesel experts. Get 10% off your first order at hotshotsecret.com. J&F Construction, building your future today. Design yours at jfconstruction.com. And Frito-Lay, get social with Frito-Lay using the hashtag Frito-Lay for a chance to be featured on their website and social media accounts. And I hope you guys are enjoying this one, eating your Doritos or your Lay's chips or whatever it is you have there. Your Funyuns, big fan of the Funyuns. But it's been a good one. This has been a fun week 2 contest.
I would go for a milkshake myself right now. I'm kind of hot.
So another KMAC team, Centerburg. I was at Centerburg last week. Root beer floats.
At halftime?
No, they sell root beer floats right there in the concept. $2 too. Really cheap. So, next time we're down there, I'm going to have to get another one. Actually, I had the root beer float, got down to the ice cream, then a fly went in and died in it. So
next time you are there, I'm your color guy.
Okay.
So. Now, we've got to figure out what's happening here. And,
they're moving it now to 3rd down.
It should be 3rd down, I believe. But the 1st down markers have to move back to where they were before. And I don't know whether anybody even knows where those are supposed to be.
I guess you could say that's on the line judge over here who's saying, yeah, you can move. He didn't see the flag happen.
The down markers can't be right.
And we still have a stoppage.
This still cannot be right. They have to move them forward. Yes, you have to move those forward.
So now they move everything
I'll tell you
up.
If they would just listen to the fans, they would have it right now. They're yelling all kinds of instructions at them, and they're just not listening to the fans like they should be. We need to go back a couple of plays and find out exactly where we were, because I just know the down markers are not right.
The 39 right here. So the ball was on the 39 for that deep incompletion.
But we had a penalty on the play after it, I believe.
So the referee is standing at the 39, as you see right here. Here, we'll show you it. Referee's back there on the 39 as they go back. But that play, the incompletion, they were at the 39-yard line. So at least we know they were there at one point.
Well, the down markers aren't anywhere near the 39. They're at the 47, 48-yard line, and they need to be moving on downfield. But they seem to be content to leave them where they're at because they don't even know at this point. So they're going to say it's third down. How can it possibly be third down and 10?
And we're finally going to get back to play here.
Goodness.
So I'm still watching on the we still have this replay.
I don't understand
up,
why the first down marker is at their own 48-yard line.
Anywho,
and
third and 11.
Down.
Thrown up. It's intercepted. Doesn't matter anyway. Miller again. 40, 30. Nobody's going to catch him. Gavin Miller just clinched it with 3 minutes left. Touchdown, Northmoor.
51 yards to the house on the interception, and I guess that just kind of eliminated the officiating debacle that we had going on here.
Gavin Miller, second pick of the night.
You know, and it's too bad because Brandon Mitchell has played a whale of a football game at quarterback. He doesn't deserve that, but
I don't blame him for being flustered after that either, because it looked like that was completely a debacle.
Oh,
I mean,
that was a mess.
Even Tom Brady would be flustered and might throw an interception after
you don't even know what play to call because you don't know whether the yard markers are right. That was really a mess.
Extra point by Chenier, up and good. Northmoor up 17 with 2:59 left, and that's pretty much going to do it unless South Central can take this back to the house, but we will see. That's why they play it out.
Yeah, it's too bad it had to end right there in that situation. The irony is the down markers haven't moved yet from that last interception. They're still where they were. Instead of it being 3rd and 10, it should have been like 3rd and 19 or 3rd and 20 or something like that. But regardless, a great play by Gavin Miller. 2 picks on the night. This one goes all the way back to the house, 51 yards for the clinching touchdown, as it's 37-20, and we're just at basically 3 minutes left.
Now, hear me out. The running backs have done an amazing job tonight on the offensive end for Northmoor, but Gavin Miller with 2 huge interceptions in that pick 6, I think he's my head nominee for player of the game tonight.
I can live with that. I can live with the offensive line.
Yeah.
I can live with any of all the running backs. I mean, it's hard to choose.
Gavin Miller, not only those 2 interceptions,
both
but
were backbreakers.
He laid the boom earlier as well. A big, clean hit as well. He's done great on defense. I think he's now the lead nominee for player of the game just because those 2 big plays really stopped South Central because they were rolling on offense as well until those 2 last stops. They'd score, I think, on 3 straight possessions. That kick is going to go into the end zone.
At this point, we could probably just about put all the offensive starters and all the defensive starters into a hat and pull out a name and say that's our person, because this was a team contribution tonight for Northmoor.
Final score from Centerburg. Speaking of those Trojans, they beat Grandview Heights 49-0. The Trojans 2-0 after going 6-0 last year in the regular season. So.
Well, we have the Golden Knights and the Trojans here, so it's kind of a jousting effect going on tonight.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Joseph Tatman, thanks Ohio's OH.Report for the coverage. Well, thank you for watching. Thank the 67 folks on YouTube and the 84 people on Facebook, including Kurt Little, Teresa Murphy still, Coach Ruth, Ellen Passet. That pass is complete.
But unfortunately, not much yard. Now a late flag just came flying in.
I did see a couple players wrestling around after the play.
Yep,
so.
I did as well. Unfortunately, Hagen Adams, I think, might have gotten a little frustrated and took a swipe at one of the defenders, possibly. Sometimes it's the second guy that gets caught.
Yeah, that's more than not. That's exactly the case.
And it's going to be offsetting. They're going to go each way.
I mean, if it's something like that, I personally think it's better to offset. Just both of them got into it somewhat. So that'll...
So the only thing that really happened there was a loss of a yard, and time came off the clock of 9 seconds.
2nd down and 11. Ball on the South Central 20, 2:43 left on a running 4th quarter clock And for South Central, yeah, it's a tough loss, but this team has a chance of doing something in the Firelands Conference this year. As Mitchell does take off and runs out of bounds, he's going to get close to a first down. Nice run by him, bring up 3rd and short.
Well, I have not seen, obviously, anybody else in the Firelands Conference, but if this
Well, you've heard of Norwalk St. Paul.
Well, yeah. They've been
usually
a perennial
the cream of the
power.
crop, that's the team that everyone's to beat. But if this passing attack can continue to play, I think South Central has a good chance of contending or at least being at the top of the Firelands Conference with other teams like St. Paul.
The only problem is when you're having a tough night throwing the football, you better be able to run it. And I haven't seen the Trojans be able to run it
Music gets outside. Nice play, gets to midfield. And I love watching South Central continue to play to the whistle here. Nice job there. Music stiff arms one tackler, gets around another, avoids 2 more and gets out the midfield. He's having quite the game tonight.
Another 23 yards to add on to the 269 that he already had. So we're looking at about 282 yards tonight in passing for Brandon Mitchell.
And if there wasn't a man named Marshall Shepard at Shelby High School throwing all the yards he is, this young man right here, Brandon Mitchell, may very well be the leading passer in the area right now.
Well, Brandon Mitchell is not huge. He's a junior. He's 6 foot tall, 165 pounds. So he's going to have to hit the weight room. He's going to have to get some nutrition going and get some weight on him. But I can see him playing quarterback at the next level. Right now, he would make a nice Division II or III quarterback. It just depends on how much he's able to put on this frame.
Quick hitter right side to Adams, catches it, but a little high, so that allows Cortez to come out and make the tackle, and the clock is going to continue to run. It's going to be a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Back into South Central territory, but there is a flag on the play.
And that stops the clock. So if Northmoor is, it's going to be stepped off against South Central. Northmoor needs to have no penalties at this point. You don't want to be giving them free plays with the clock stopped.
And you don't want to be chippy either.
Nope.
No chance on, you don't want to get ejected, especially now. Miss your next game because of something when the game is pretty much over with.
Well, we talked about penalties. Northmoor had 6 at halftime. They now have 8. So they've only had 2 this half. South Central only had 4 at halftime. They have 10 now. So they've had 6 in the second half. 6 penalties in the second half has really devastated this team, and most of them have come on offense. A couple of jumps on offsides on defense, but you just can't afford 62 yards in penalties.
Speaking of offsides, Northmoor caught for encroachment there, so that gets 5 yards back for South Central. Be first down and long. First down and 18 to be exact.
68 yards in penalties for Northmoor, 62 for South Central. So both teams have definitely piled up not only the number of penalties, but the yardage as well.
That ball knocked down at the line.
Nice job that time by Andrew Armoros, who just got his big paw up there and just batted it down.
Take a look at that on the Hot Shot Secret replay. And, yeah, great play. He was a little frustrated there, too, because he thought if he could have brought that down, it could have been 6 for them. But
I'm kind of surprised he didn't because he's a tight end. So he's used to catching kind of tough passes.
Make sure to stick around after the game for the J&F Construction postgame. We'll have our player of the game brought to you by J&F Construction, as well as stats and some final analysis from this good one. Music, again, being it's like a Madden player right now. He's literally playing in a video game. He just making so many guys miss. And at this point of the game as well has been very impressive.
19 yards on that reception, and the clock stops. So they're not giving up. They're continuing to fight to the best of their ability. So I give them hats off because they are not putting their heads down and saying, well, we're behind by 17. That they're continuing to fight.
1st and 10 from the Northmoor 37. 4 wide to the right. Music off to the left. Mitchell looking for that bubble screen. Instead, he decides to keep it, spins out of one tackle, and who else but Andrew Armrost there to get him down in the backfield.
Well, unofficially, I have Brandon Mitchell now at 313 yards passing. That's
phenomenal.
Quite a night. But the team only has 31 yards rushing.
And if that's correct, he has 600 yards passing in 2 games. 287 last week and 313 this week.
And 7 touchdowns.
Oh, boy. An arm roast again, back-to-back sacks. And now that line's starting to wear down here with a minute left in the game.
You know, South Central, I love their scheme, but you got to get a rushing attack. And without a rushing attack, there's going to be nights, you know, this is Ohio. You're going to have rainy nights. You're going to have cold nights toward the end of the season. And some nights your quarterback just isn't going to be on. And you're going to have a rushing attack. And that's the only real bugaboo I see with the South Central offense. But they play hard, and that's all you can ask of them.
Screen pass works to Parker Gray. And he will get across the 35 down to the 32. Bring up 4th down. Also, you got to hand it to the Northmoor front line. That front four for Northmoor is pretty darn good.
And they're getting pressure on him, but he's just throwing a lot of quick out patterns, so you really don't have a chance to get to him.
And that screen's picked.
Michael Stuff, I believe.
Gavin Whited.
Oh, okay.
So the big man.
Well, that's 3 interceptions now for Brandon Mitchell. And that one, he just didn't see the defender.
Whited read it perfectly after they just ran that play, saw his offensive lineman going out, shed him off, and was in the right place at the right time. And now Northmoor in the best formation in football.
With 7 seconds left.
They get the run at once.
So quite a night for Northmoor. I'm impressed. They can really run the football. They can add a nice passing attack. It's not anything scary, but they mix it in nicely. And when you've got an offensive line that can dominate like they did tonight, boy, they can cause you a lot of headaches in a lot of ways.
So Northmoor, with the big plays in the second half when they needed it, comes away with a 37-20 victory over a very good South Central team to move the 2-0 in a battle of 2-0s. But that'll do it for the game. Make sure you stay tuned, though, for the J&F Construction postgame. We will have Gavin Miller. He is our player of the game. Big plays at the end. We'll have him for our player of the game segment as well as stats. And Lynn and I will wrap things up right after this break. You're watching high school football live and free on the OH.Report.
Morrow County Hospital, along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrow County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teams, parents, and all of Morrow County.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I got charity attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
time now for our J&F Construction Player of the Game. We were thinking about having the running backs, multiple running backs, quarterback, offensive, defensive line, but this guy right here, Gavin Miller, the game-clinching pick six after having an interception the series before, really shut things down, gave Northmoor the big 37-20 victory. First of all, Gavin, buddy, congratulations.
Thank you.
First off, take me through the 2 interceptions. Their quarterback, Mitchell, was throwing up and down the field. They had scored, I believe, on 3 consecutive series before that. What were you reading there on that 4th down?
I read the number 2 receiver going out, so I dropped back to my hash, and he rolled out to the left, and I just drifted with the play, and he threw it right to me.
And then on the interception, he had a little bit of he had somewhat of a rush coming after him. He threw it up, and you seem to be, once again, right place at the right time. What were you reading on that play?
Actually, right before the play went, they told number 7, the quad receiver, the farthest inside, to cut it up more inside. So I told our middle backer, Garrett, to carry that out, and I sat on the hash and was ready for that second slant.
And you got right on it. Tell me, you had the interception, you started going off to the right, and you just saw daylight, just a block, your own blocker ahead of you. What were you thinking when you saw it? Were you thinking, I'm going to the house? What was in your mind?
I was thinking about taking it to the house.
And you had a chance early in the other one, but you made, I guess, the wrong cut, you were telling me? Or you could have had 2 pick sixes, but hey, one's good as well. This team, I was here covering games last year. These games last year kind of got away from you. They were the opposite direction of what happened tonight. Just what has changed from last year to this year to where you guys are finishing games?
We put hard work into the weight room, worked on fundamentals, and just got better.
Coming into next week, you're 2-0. About to come into KMAC play. I know Centerburg, one of the teams, they won 42-0. They're a team you're going to have to compete with this year in the KMAC, but just what you guys need to build on going into next week and then in the KMAC play to have a chance of a KMAC championship and possibly a long playoff run.
We need to just keep our heads focused and act like it's the start of the season.
All right. Gavin Miller, our player of the game, 2 fourth-quarter interceptions, one of them to the house to clinch it. Congratulations, Gavin.
Thank you.
We're going to take one more break and then be back with final stats and to wrap things up right here, live and free on the OH.Report.
Along with Ohio Health, is the official sports medicine provider of Northmoor High School. Available 24/7 to care for your athlete with same-day appointment options available. We keep your athletes healthy and in the game. Morrill County Hospital and Ohio Health are proud to partner with Northmoor High School to provide a healthier community, serving teens, parents, and all of Morrill County.
Frito-Lay Variety Packs presents totally unrealistic, never gonna happen in a million years mom fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I got cheered attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito-Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
back here in North Bloomfield Township, where the final score tonight, Northmoor moves to 2-0 with a 37-20 victory over the South Central Trojans, a very good South Central Trojans squad. Travis Berardi here with Lynn Passet back on the headset to wrap things up. But Lynn, a very entertaining game this early in the season. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it felt like we were watching a week 6 or 7 football game. Both teams really played well. The only thing that both coaches are going to really harp about is that number at the bottom, penalties. Both teams with too many penalties, 10 for South Central and 9, I believe it was, for Northmoor. And the turnovers, of course, are something you want to cut down on as well. But I'll tell you what an individual performance by Brandon Mitchell tonight. 29 out of 39 unofficially for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have the 3 picks, but, the last 2, he was really kind of behind the 8 ball, really having to try and force things to happen.
And the pick 6 was right after that debacle with the chains. And I mean, I still don't know what happened. I don't know.
No one knows what
should
was
have been
happening.
10. I don't. Anywho, but
the officiating was not in week 6 or 7.
Gavin Miller, though, made sure that was erased immediately, though, with the interception to close it out. But the job that Northmoor did, you could say it was bend but not break against Mitchell in that second half, because they did get that 1 touchdown. They get it to within 3. Then after Northmoor scores, they get the first Miller interception, go down, score, put it up 10, and then Miller closes it out on the next possession with the pick 6. But I think that line really broke down the South Central offensive line in the end. They wore them down. Like you said, they didn't have as many players to substitute as Northmoor did, especially on the offensive line, that really wore them down, and that really led to those 2 interceptions.
Yeah, we definitely saw that the number of players going both ways for South Central became a real problem and an issue for them at the end of the ball game. And when you look at passing yards, 326 to 58, all 58 came in the first half. Northmoor didn't even have to throw another pass. They only threw 2 in the second half. And as I mentioned earlier, South Central's got to find a rushing attack. You can't rely on just the passing game, and that showed tonight. You've got to have a little more balance, and I'm sure that's something that the coaching staff will work on and try to get implemented, because you've got to be able to counterpass the passing game with some rushing attack.
And do you have individual stats?
Well, I'll tell you, where do you even start?
Let's start with South Central with the passing and the receiving.
Well, we already talked about Brandon Mitchell. He was 29 of 39 for 326, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Rushing attack, Beverly carried the ball 9 times for 35 yards, and Mitchell was sacked twice for -11, so that's kind of where things went haywire for them. And then when you look at the rushing attack for Northmoor, where do you even begin?
So balanced tonight.
Quarterback Marcus Cortez, 10 carries, 97 yards. Max Lauer, 14 carries for 109 yards. Nico Cristo, 12 carries for 100 yards. Garrett Corwin, 9 carries for 82 yards. So you had 97, 109, 100, 82 between those 4 players. That's just really tough to stop.
And if I could have given out 5 or 6 players of the game, I definitely would have brought every running back up, Cortez up, offensive line. But
it was a team win. It was a team win,
and that's what Coach Armrose said. I was down there getting Gavin for the player of the game, and he said, last year, like I asked Gavin, last year these are games that would have gotten away from us, but this year we really stuck in it and were able to make plays. And he said, I'm darn proud of the line for wearing down the offensive and defensive lines of South Central. So such a balanced rushing attack helped lead, and some big defensive plays helped Northmoor go to 2-0. And this team, like South Central, these 2 teams are, I believe, teams that will be high seeded in the playoffs. We know there's 16 seeds. Almost everybody's going to make it in. But these 2 teams playing like they could be a top 8 seed, where they could get a home game in round 1.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Northmoor's looking good. They go to Bucyrus next Friday. Bucyrus has been down, so you don't.
They get a win in week 1 though, but they hosted Crestview tonight. Crestview, also a team that was 1-0, so that was another battle. But Bucyrus, we'll see what they did this week. But Northmoor with a good one, and then
South Central is at Cardinal Stritch. They host Cardinal Stritch next Friday, so they'll have their hands full with Cardinal Stritch.
Yes.
They've been a good program over the years as well. So you don't want to start letting your chins drop and your heads drop, because then you can start to go the wrong way really fast. If you're South Central, you just want to say, okay, we played a good week 1. We still played a good week 2, but we played a good team in week 2.
Yes.
And we're 1-1. Well, we haven't lost the season. This isn't hopeless. And let's just pick ourselves back up and show our character. Let's host Cardinals Trich next week, and let's show people what we can really do.
They're 1 or 2 plays away from possibly taking this game. That one interception, if you don't get the whole chain thing, you never know what happens there as well. It can be a completely different game, but it's how you react to it, how you respond to it, and we'll see how they do next week. One final shout-out. We still have some people watching, so thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, we're here.
I know
They
you're
may
here for
as
the
well be
game,
too.
but if you want to hear us talk some more, I mean, we can. But Mandy Brannon, Phoebe Cass, Chris Lacey, thanks for showing the small school. Enjoyed watching from Greenwich. And Chris, like we said, you guys have a very solid team, and I look forward to watching what they can do next week and then into the Firelands Conference. Jeff Bump, Gavin Miller for player of the game. Yes, he was. I mean, could have gone anyway, but he had the game-deciding play. It could be a game-changing play too, but I think that just clinched it instead of changed the complexion of it. You know what I mean?
Both picks were very important.
Yes, they were. Teresa Murphy, John Murphy, Alicia Prince, Teresa Murphy again, Leanne Forcioni, and Bill Pearson and Kathy Pearson. Thank you all for watching. And then on the YouTube side, Bob Hendershot, David Swihart, and Joseph Tatman. Thank you guys for watching. But that's going to wrap things up here from Northmoor High School down here in North Bloomfield Township.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to their athletic department for being great hosts. They brought us water. I'll tell you what, it was steaming in this press box tonight, and I worked up a good sweat, and I didn't even play. So thanks for the water at halftime, the food, and for their hospitality. Always nice to come here to Northmoor, and thanks to South Central. I was kind of a last-minute addition to this football game, and they got me the stats that I needed this morning when I asked for them, so my hat's off to them as well. And always a pleasure to cover a high school football game.
I want to thank everybody for being involved in this one. Everybody back at OH.Report, BS Media Productions. Hayden Gray, once again, great on the camera work. Brian Skoronsky, Jory Hollenbeck, Adam Thompson for putting all of these great graphics together and helping me get this whole setup set up.
I don't know how you do it myself. I don't know how you call play-by-play and then still do the instant replays. And you are in charge of a lot of things, Travis. And, my hat is off to you because I couldn't do it.
It's a nice way of calling me a geek, and I appreciate that.
Hey, you're more than welcome.
I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I'd like to thank our sponsors, J&F Construction, Morrow County Hospital, Hot Shot Secret, Frito-Lay, for allowing us to bring this to you live and free. Want to thank my colleague here, Lynn. How'd you like it? How'd you like night one being part of the OH Report?
Well, I've watched a few games on the OH Report, so I might as well just be a part of it, right? And it was fun. Travis, enjoyed working with you, first time ever, and hopefully we'll have a couple more opportunities before it's all over.
Definitely. For Lynn Passet, I am Travis Berardi saying so long from Northmoor. Your final score, one final time. Northmoor defeats South Central 37-20. Have a good night, everybody.